everybody, I'm George.
And I'm Bob, we're the Shipping Goblins from Beetle and Grips. Today, we're going to talk about the amazing Map Vault Collection. And with the Map Vault Collection, you get a bunch of gorgeous two-sided maps, all scaled for standard minis.
Yeah, get yours now for the Map Vault Collection from Beetle and Grim, and all the players at your table will be revved up and hyper because the only thing they'll be able to say is...
Yeah, go ahead and do it!
Zoinks!
Yeah, do it again!
Zoinks!
Hello?
Who do you think you are?
Yes, Mr. Lillard.
You're just some common.
Yes,
You can't just go off and use my
it's your
voice
thing.
like that. I have rights.
Completely. We just thought...
Me?
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna take this right to
yes, sir.
Beetle. Hey, Grim.
Thank you, sir.
What happened?
Matthew Lillard watches our show!
Zoinks!
Double
You'll have to wait to pop your Pringles. Good evening. We are live.
Awesome.
Dave Poppy's Pringles.
Didn't know it was that kind of stream.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
you know,
it is. Looks like it's going that way.
Essential foodstuffs. So, welcome. It is Friday. It is a Band of Badgers channel, and that means Starfinder. And tonight is our last episode of Chapter 1. Or from the first floppy, I should say, of the Flyerfield adventure path. We've kind of rushed through it, so we will have done it in 12 hours of gameplay. I will say there are much more than 12 hours of gameplay in this particular chapter. I reckon there's probably at least 20 to 25 hours, and if we were playing around the table and not streaming it for your entertainment, we would have taken longer to do it. So please don't expect that if you was to go out and purchase this, you'd be doing it in 12 hours, because you won't. There's plenty more to explore and discover than we have done in this stream. But yeah, there are reasons for that, and we're doing this for a stream, so things tend to get condensed. So yeah, it's a good investment. If you want to turn it into price, they're about 15 and 20 quid, and you've probably got 20 to 25 hours worth of playtime. So less than £1 an hour. If you want to put it into easy to calculate numbers. But anyway, that's enough of the sales pitch. Good evening, players. How are you this evening?
Very
Excellent.
well, thank you.
Yeah, good man.
Hungry, apparently.
Yeah, it's very pringly. Thanks to Baron for the resub during the pre-roll as well. That's much appreciated. Thank you very much. So yeah, we'll be wrapping up Chapter 1 this evening. Thank you to Beetle and Grims, of course, for their continued support of the channel, allowing us to put shows like this together, and of course our other shows such as Rune Lords, which finished last week, which you can find on YouTube at our Band of Badgers YouTube channel. And if you want to see all of the other links that we have, such as Twitch, YouTube, Prime, Facebook, Patreon, there will be a Linktree message coming up in chat during the show every now and again, and if you go to that page, it will present you with all of the Badgers links in one handy website, so you can go off and explore all of the various different things we do. So yeah, useful tool that. So as I say, thank you to Beetle and Grims for their continued support. They of course do their own streaming. They will be streaming next week as part of D&D Live. I believe they've got Seth Green on. I think I saw on Instagram they've got Seth Green, they've got Deborah Ann Wild, they've got B. Dave Waters for a game that's been live streamed. John Ciccolone, who joined us in our Rune Lords game as Justice Ironbriar.
Excellent.
Excellent Justice Ironbriar. he will be running that game for them. So yeah, that's going to be a good one. So that's sometime next week. So if you want to check out their Instagram feed, you'll get alerted there on when it is dropping. And of course, if you yourself would like to support us, you can through your Prime subscriptions. You get a free Twitch subscription to the streamer of your choice once a month, and it would be very, very much appreciated if you would support us. We can continue bringing this show to you, as well as our Q&A shows, as well as all of the other things that we're doing. So a bit of a quiet weekend this weekend. We got Avernus tomorrow night, so Joe is continuing with his part, and of course Josh will be appearing in that episode tomorrow, and there is a guest as well. So that's Thea from Thea's Marvelous Things, or Thea's Fantastical Things. Sorry, Thea's Fantastical Things. So there will be some links in chat tomorrow to her feed. She makes these wonderful leather items. We saw them at Dragon Meat a couple of years ago. They are very, very artistic, very creative. So she'll be joining Avernus tomorrow night, and then on Sunday we're not playing Lost Lights because there's a football game on, I think, and so
just no one's heard of it. It's just a little thing.
So
Yeah.
we're having the night off.
There you go.
And then next week, well, it'll be on the schedule. There is a Beadle and Grimm Q&A on Wednesday, but of course Monday and Tuesday we are doing another game. Dave, if you want to say a quick few words about that.
Yeah, we haven't announced it yet, so we can't.
Right, fair enough then. So,
exclusive. There will be something going on.
Yeah, something really good.
Yeah. So, something very different. When we're allowed to announce it, keep watching the weekend, and we'll announce it. But yeah, until that time, we can't announce it.
Just teasing us, Dave, at this point.
But we are on Monday and Tuesday.
I tease everything. It's suspense.
Okay.
We will be on
Subscribe
Monday
to our
Tuesday,
YouTube channel, and I'll tell you.
Me specifically,
There you
I
go.
already do.
Yeah.
There we go.
Everyone, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/bandofbadgers,
We'll tell you.
So
we'll
if
tell you what it is.
If we get 15 new subscriptions during the course of the show, you'll
25.
say what it is by 25. Okay, so if we go 25,
25, 50.
Yeah, let's shoot high. 100.
500.
right. Enough rambling. If you look in the box below me, you will see other ads for our other supporters. That will tick along there. You will also, of course, see that we do provide discount codes. So Sorcerer Sundries is up at the moment. If you use code Badger at checkout, you will get 10% discount. And there are many other supporters that provide us with discounts and discount codes as well. So keep an eye out in that box. You will see popping up in chat as well. Level Up Dice discount, an affiliate code for their Dicemancy program, and for tomorrow's Avernus stream we will have another one popping up, so I won't spoil that yet by saying what it is, but there'll be another backer and another discount code going in chat tomorrow.
Oh, we're not doing it today.
No, we're not doing it today. I was freaking around with cameras.
Fair enough.
Okay, I think that is it. So it's been a couple of weeks since we last played. I'm going to put you on the spot and see if you remember what happened the last time we did play.
Okay, Captain, you're up.
Cool. I'll just bring in my notes up. It's fine. So last time we were delivering quite a large amount of weapons to the Gideon Authority on planet Voxer. And we went there and found out that the Gideon Authority are massive, massive dicks with labour camps. So what we did was defected to the other side and sold the weapons for half the price to the other people. Tried to not get caught doing this, did not work. And are probably wanted by a lot of very powerful people with a lot of money to get rid of us. But we did explode some helicopters.
You did explode some helicopters, yes.
Yes, that's right. It was the getaway scene, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yes, it was the truck climbing to the mountains, being chased by helicopters.
Yep.
Yeah, 50 tons of infinity rifles sold to the rebellion.
Yeah, we were meant to get 1 million,
Yeah.
but we got 500,000.
You got half a
Credits.
million in credits. That's correct. But you still have your ship.
We've still got a ship and we've still got our lives right now.
That's correct. Yeah, and that's what matters. So with that done, we'll say you've taken off. You've reached orbit, and in order to avoid the blockade of the Gideon Authority that accosted you when you first arrived in orbit around Voxer, you quickly jump to the drift. You don't really care the destination, but you're just eager to get out of trouble. So you do that. You calculate a very quick trajectory, launch into the drift, and a few hours later you drop out and take stock of exactly what you did and exactly what that means going forwards. However, as you do drop out of the drift, you immediately receive notification of a message. Ah, crew.
It worked.
There you are. There you are. Oh, yes. I'm glad the message went through. How are you? And you see on the screen is your binary coordinate at Edge Core, Tarika.
We're fine, Tarika. We're absolutely fabulous.
Well,
Looking nervously around.
I think you might be maybe downplaying your situation just a touch. Well, things aren't great here. I have to say, and you seem to have annoyed quite a few people. I think it's best if I just I'll just read the message that I've been given. She looks down, holds a piece of paper in front of her.
How dead are we on a scale of 1 to 10?
Dear crew of BD514, it's unfortunate you find yourselves in this situation, and well, after a number of failures too costly to count at this point in time, I'm afraid we have to request your immediate presence at Absalom Station. We will hold a fair and impartial investigation into the actions and activities which you have performed, you're alleged to have performed, that have led to the loss on several of your contracts over the past few weeks. You'll be given the opportunity to speak for yourselves, put your case forward before the employment tribunal makes a final decision on your employment status. I bid you farewell. Scott Harrison, Regional Director, Absalom Station. This isn't good. The regional directors messaged me personally that those sort of people, they don't come down to our level, and when they do, it's not good.
When they do, it's with a smell under the nose, if I know Scott.
You need to get back to Absalom straight away. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but the words fair and impartial, well,
It's not going to be fair, nor is it going to be impartial. We both know this.
Exactly. You get my meaning. Well, please, I think the sooner you get back here, the better. So don't dally. Just get back here as soon as you can. Tarika out, and the screen goes black.
Well, everyone, we are slightly fucked. They want us back at Absalom Station, and we're probably going to lose the ship. Any ideas? Because I don't really want to go back for their fair and impartial tribunal.
What if we just don't go?
It's quite wondering.
It's your call, Captain. We'll go where you go. We ride where you ride.
I quite like the idea of not going back. We are going to be on the run. And they do have stations everywhere. Be careful.
Yeah. Is there anyone we can blame?
Probably not.
They've all got more money than us, and they can probably make us go away very permanently.
Okay. So we can't have a blamestorming session where we all discuss whose fault it is.
I don't think it's going to work. I mean, we can
No.
try and blame Cowboy, but he will just claim that he was dead for 6 months.
That does
They-
not compute.
They don't know
Who
he's in
is
the
Cowboy?
robot.
That's true. But they might just want to take him and then figure out how he's in the robot. How do you feel about that,
I'd rather stay
Cowboy?
away from that if you don't mind. I do want to get myself into a new body, however. Don't
Any
forget, that is
particular
the
body?
mission. Well, years ago I would have said anyone, but now who knows?
Cowboy, Beck, should I just leave you to it? I saw that look you just gave him, Cowboy.
So after a few more minutes of conversation where you try and sound each other out, I guess discover for yourselves who's likely to stab the other in the back. The message console pings again, alerting you of yet another incoming message. You are indeed popular today.
I really hope that's not Scott.
The screen clears to reveal the face of a well-groomed and well-attired drow. In fact, there's a picture of his face in the ad box at the moment, if you want to tune in and see what that looks like.
Recognise him.
He's extremely regal looking, and yes, Miss Omi, you do recognise him. This is Lord Sinjin. He smiles warmly down at you and
The
says,
warmness hit his eyes, or are they just cold and dead?
his eyes are cold and dead.
Okay, good.
I have every reason to be furious, he says.
Well, I'm afraid you're going to have to join the queue, because there is one
I
forming, and
haven't
you're not at the
finished,
front.
my dear Captain. I haven't finished. When I tend to get furious with someone, they usually end up breathing vacuum. But this time, well, the stars have aligned in your favour, because I need a crew. Your crew, in fact, for a very special job. You've alienated me, and I guess the corporate paymasters that you currently work for. However, if you do me the courtesy of hearing me out, then perhaps we can both come out of this ahead. I'm probably stating the obvious when I say that you're all EdgeCore employees. But
Currently,
how
yes.
much do you actually know about your company?
I think Masomi probably knows a bit more about the corporate side of it.
Yes, yeah, you do. It's a joint venture,
Mhm.
a consolidated business. They are branching out aggressively. They like to buy up smaller, growing affairs and then bring them into the corporate setup in order to make profit and they buy in innovation rather than innovate themselves, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds very familiar.
Yeah.
But I did always pay on time.
That may
No
be
one
true.
pays on time.
That may be
They
true.
were stingy with those bonuses, but they did pay on time.
But you, I'm afraid, probably only see the corporate side. Let me say that the organisation I work for, the Golden League, which of course has a reputation for being a criminal organisation, and EdgeCore's own corporate policies lie more in lockstep than you are probably aware. They are but a legitimate face on, well, a group of people who operate in a similar fashion as myself. Now, I've spent rather a lot of money to learn about EdgeCore. They have also partnered up with me in the past. In particular, somebody named Aline Rizora. Now, Masomi, you know Aline Rizora. She is another Callistocrat, and she's one of the EdgeCore directors. She heads up special projects, so she's in the research and development division. So all of the new ships, new engine drives, they all go through Aline's division. So she's high up. Now, Aline and I have been working together on a particular project. A project that creates null space chambers. Now, null space chambers aren't new, but no one to date has been able to figure out how to make them bigger than a few feet across. Aline has cracked the code. She has managed to make a null space chamber large enough to fit inside of a well-sized cargo hold. That means that cargo placed within that cargo hold takes up less room within the ship itself, volume-wise. So larger cargoes can be carried on much more discrete vessels, shall we say.
Yes.
Now, when I say partnered, she has employed me and paid me for various different things. Corporate espionage, shall we say, the theft of certain pieces of information from competitors.
Usual stuff that you need.
Exactly. Encouraging scientists to go and work for her when they were reluctant before, shall we say. Now, she's gone cold. I know the project is nearing completion and that they have a prototype vessel named the Oliphant with their null space cargo hold installed within. I wish to take ownership of this vessel as reparation. The payments missed and payments overdue for my assistance in developing this project. Now, you may think I'm doing this for, well, not to altogether altruistic reasons, but, well, you'd be wrong. I'm going
I'd be
to implore on
surprised
your
if that wasn't
better
one of
nature.
your reasons.
Well, it may be one of my reasons, but why should EdgeCore have this technology? You know, I know they will operate to keep this to themselves. You know, if you imagine in every emergency vessel out there being able to carry twice as many supplies to victims of the swarm, twice as much medicinal help, if you could, you know, transfer refugees and settlers to distant uninhabited planets carrying twice as many goods and supplies to keep them going. You know, imagine a space station making use of this null space technology. You could downsize the space station and double the living space.
Possibilities are endless.
Yes, it's a technology that needs to be out in the world. I will do that. Now, of course, I will make profit on the side, but I won't be selfish. I won't hog that technology and force people to pay a premium. So, if your interest is piqued, what I need you to do is find your way to the Horse Eye Orbital. That is the location of the Oliphant's construction and the location of the R&D division that Eileen runs. Now, getting onto the Horse Eye Orbital won't be easy. It is a highly secure facility, and the only people they allow to visit are EdgeCore or one of the other engineering and shipping companies' shareholders. Now, I realise that you currently have probably been messaged by your own corporate superiors to return back for some sort of, I guess, sham tribunal, maybe.
Yes, the words fair and impartial were used.
Yes, of course, fair and impartial. Well, I'm
Yes.
sure you know what that means.
It means the opposite.
Yes, you will be stripped of your vessel, you'll receive no reparations, no payouts, your contracts will be terminated, your reputations will be in tatters. I have a way round that. I suggest you quit between now and Absalom, where I assume you are heading. You tender your notice. You will of course have to give up your vessel, but if I know my EdgeCore contracts correctly, part of your severance pay will be EdgeCore shares, because of course, why would EdgeCore pay out good credits when they can give away their worthless shares for free? Once you become EdgeCore shareholders, you will of course instantly be granted access to the Horse Eye Orbital. Now, you won't be granted access to their R&D division project offices, but you will be able to find yourself on the orbital, and that's step 1. Step 2 will be down to you. Locate the project facility, break into the project facility, and steal the Oliphant. once you've done that, my contact will reach out to me, and I will advise you of coordinates to bring the vessel. And there we will trade payments, should we say. Now, to facilitate your goodwill, should we say, I'm willing to pay each of you right now, just for giving due consideration to my offer, 2,500 credits each. I think that's fair for just a 10-minute conversation and a bit
Very
of time in
generous.
considering it. But please, take my advice seriously. Ditch Edgecore before they ditch you. It's the only way you'll walk away with something. If you are interested in taking up my offer, then when you arrive at Absalom, my contact will reach out to you. She is a Vesk by the name of Obadiah. She should have arranged already transport to the Horse Eye Orbital Plate, and, well, she will talk you through the arrival, and then it's up to you. Once you're on the orbital, you'll need to locate the offices, as I said, and work out how you're going to steal the vessel. And believe me, that is a secure facility. You don't want to walk in the front door guns blazing. Even if they let you in the front door with guns.
I think we do anything as silly as that. Although I'm sure Vec knows a way of hiding things.
Will they let us in through the front door with grenades?
I very much doubt it.
Oh,
What about if he saw some in his cheek pouches?
I don't know much about the Isoki biology. We'll see. Anyway, I've made my offer. 2,500 credits apiece will be making its way to your accounts, your individual accounts. I'll leave the decision up to you.
Most kind.
And with that, the message ends.
I turn around to everyone. Well, I'm not really sure what we have to lose at this point.
Well, I guess we're kind of gunslingers on the run.
Pretty much. What do you think about his offer? Not him as a
Well,
person.
it sounds like
I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
No.
it sounds like all we have to lose is losing.
Yep, that's true. What do people want to do?
Let's go for it.
Go away?
Yeah, let's go for it. What's the worst that can happen? I've already died.
I agree. Cowboy, if you can get us to Absalom, we'll figure out how to quit
You should
before
see
we're
buttons as before.
taken No.
So you once again fire up the drift engine.
3-point turn.
Eventually finding
So
the
we'll
right
spin a
gear.
tin can.
Yeah, eventually finding the right gear, and you plot a course for Absalom. You will be spending a few days in the drift getting there, so you do have plenty of time to notify Edgecore of your intention to.
I want it to be just the right side of passive aggressive.
And I have a question on that.
Yeah.
Technically, I've died, so can I pay my life insurance?
No.
Because I was worth millions. My body was top notch. I ate the right food. I worked out.
It did not help when you got skewered.
No, but that was an exceptional circumstance. At least I died in an exceptional circumstance way.
That's what they would claim. It was an exceptional circumstance, and they can't pay out.
Yes, it was an act of goblin.
Acts of Goblin are never covered.
They're never covered.
But it was an accident in the workplace. Did you get on the phone to Space Claims Direct?
But they might say that we shouldn't have been trying to run away from the goblins. We should have just surrendered.
Yeah.
So you've
I
got
feel
several days.
dirty right now.
That's the corporate line. So you've got several days in the drift to contact EdgeCore to tender your resignations and to negotiate your severance packages.
Yeah.
So do you wish to do that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'd like each of you to roll me a check, please. So it will be a society check.
We do not have society. Where is society?
It will not be. Is it culture?
Culture.
Oh,
Okay, good.
culture.
Sorry, I'm forever mixing up Pathfinder and Starfinder skills.
Easily done.
Ooh, I got a 19.
Natural 20.
Well done.
15.
28.
Okay. So, Masomi,
Mhm.
you go full charm offensive in passive
I have to
aggressive
talk to these
mode
people.
with the head of HR, and you manage to successfully browbeat them down to receiving your full severance package, which is 5,000 in real credits and 5,000 in non-transferable EdgeCore stock. Cowboy, was that a 19 in total or 19 on the dice?
That was 19 in total.
In total, okay. So you follow Miss Omi, and she's done such a good job that effectively the chief of HR has given away all his free toys by that point, and he's really looking to score some back. So he goes a bit harder on you. You do manage to get some credits out of him, which is good. You get 4,000 in credits.
Cool.
And the EdgeCore stock, you manage to negotiate 3,500, so you get 7,500 in total. By the time he rolls around to you, Vec, and of course he has an instant dislike to Isaki as well, I'm afraid you're getting the shaft. You only managed to negotiate 2,500 in real credits, and unfortunately even the EdgeCore stock was running short by that point, so you only get 2,500 in share options as well, so that's a total of 5,000.
Can I steal his pen and his executive toy off his desk, please?
Not over the radio, you can't. No.
Oh.
So what you managed to do is steal Miss Amy's pen and Cowboy's bobblehead off the dashboard.
Vec, pen. I know you've got it. No, wait, no, keep it. It's been in your mouth. I'll find another one. You buy me a new one.
So a few days later, feeling almost if there's a weight lifted from your shoulders, you arrive in space around Absalom Station. You receive docking permission and you're bombarded with a number of messages from EdgeCore employees telling you which space dock to land at. You are flooded with several warnings of what may happen should you not dock at that space station, spaceport, and that you'll be forever hunted down by the authorities if you happen to try and steal the ship. You, of course, happily land, I take it, and don't try and make a run for it after travelling all the way to Absalom. At which point, you essentially hand over the keys to the BD514, and it is no longer your vessel. You are now, for the first time since this adventure started, without a ship. However, as you somewhat almost sorrowfully walk away from the BD514, having been through so much on that ship, particularly you, Cowboy, where you were skewered to its hull for a period.
I kind of feel like a saddle without a horse.
Yeah. You notice standing towards the back of the spaceport, a rather large and imposing Vesk figure. Obadiah, would you like to describe yourself, please?
Yeah, so Obadiah, female Vesk, very tall, very wide shoulders, just kind of a towering Vesk. She's carrying a heavy type armor. She's got a greenish style skin, little blue here and there. almost like sort of some war paint that's almost kind of around the eyes. And she's carrying a larger pulse rifle. That's all you can really see. You do see some grenades off the side of her hip as well. And that's really all you see. I mean, she just looks like somewhat of a terrifying mercenary soldier type Vesk. And I would say as I approach the group, I'll kind of eye them from the corner and start walking towards the group.
Well, well, well. This must be the little ragtag group I've been contracted to work with for the acquirements of the elephant ship. Are you not?
I'll tip my hat. Howdy, partner.
Oh,
Obadiah?
pardon me. Yes. The name is Obadiah. And you are?
I'm Sony. He's introduced himself already, Cowboy, and this is Beck.
Right.
Oh, Vec. I seem to, like this little one. Got the cheeks on you, do you not?
The cheeks. The cheeks is where the power comes from.
Yes, yes. We may be storing things in there.
Oh,
We
well,
can just discuss
not on a,
that.
not on a first date.
Vic, you really are getting around right now, honestly.
Yes.
It's the
This-
wine.
This is why I like these vests. They got a humor on them. But I think we'll be storing potentially weapons, grenades maybe, inside of those cheeks.
At least 4.
Whatever
Just
we
as-
can get.
As many fingers. 4.
Excellent. So I assume you have accepted the contract.
I
Yeah.
think we've not got much else to lose.
Acceptance is the first step.
That is an affirmative.
Always is. Is, you don't mind me asking, any reason why you would take this particular contract? I'm a connoisseur of deadly contracts. You would say, love them. But you all, why?
Well, we've pissed off quite a lot of people, including Edgecore. They were going to fire us, but, we get in there first. Also, possibly pissed off. I've forgotten his name. Lord
Lord
what's
St.
his
John.
chops?
Lord St.
Lord
John.
St. John. We've also pissed off Lord St. John and the people that he works with. And he's the only one who's offered an olive branch. Obviously, there's going to be strings, but it's the only offer on the table right now.
Fair enough.
To be honest, I heard about a new shiny ship.
Yes, there is a ship involved. May I ask you another question?
Certainly.
Are you Edgecore stockholders?
You
Yes.
certainly are.
Excellent. We'll need this to board our destination, the Horse Eye Orbital.
Are you also a stockholder?
I am, and we'll leave it at that.
No. Ask no
I have
questions, tell more
prepared.
lies.
That's what they say. I have prepared transportation. If you are willing, accompany me to Transport 4469, and we will head off to the Horse Eye Orbital.
And I'll turn around and start walking that way.
Well, I guess it's that way then. And so we will follow.
So you
Yep.
walk through the spaceport, not very far, It's not very far to where the transportation shuttle is docked, and it is only a shuttle. It is only an in-system shuttle. Vesk boards. It's clearly a rental. You fire off. You leave Absalom Station almost immediately. You're obviously leaving behind quite a large part of your most recent history. There is a bit of sorrow, but it's also exciting to be onto something new.
Always and upwards.
Yeah, new adventures. It's about a day and a half's worth of travel. There's no drift engine. It's only an inter-orbit shuttle, so you have a little bit of time to get to know Vesk. But eventually you do arrive at the Horse Eye Orbital. So, sorry, not Vesk, Ober's Eye. So, if there is any additional information you wanted to impart, Ober's Eye, there is time to do that. Otherwise, we will fast forward to the arrival at Horse Eye Orbital.
Okay, yeah. Before we get off I assume at this point we're just kind of approaching the dock. Is there anyone that's carrying any weapons that are like visual, like larger weapons or anything that's visual that's hanging off of anybody?
Masumi does have a gun. She's got a pistol. Well, she's got a pistol.
Yes.
Captain, I can store that for you.
Yes.
I have places.
That is excellent to hear. Where we are going is a extremely secure location. Any weapons will have to be stored very well.
And at this point, Obazai has already, I guess, taken off or stored her pulse rifle somewhere else. I'll basically let the group know that I do have a Doshko, but it's designed in a way and hidden within my armor that you wouldn't know that it was a weapon in any way. And I also have a small, pistol that's hidden within part of my leg armor as well. So basically, if we're going to enter this location, we're going to want to have all of our all of our weapons hidden as well as we possibly can. And if there's any way that even we can, I don't know if there's any magical abilities that we could even use to ensure folks don't find those.
I don't think I have that ability. I do have build trust, but that might come in useful, but not immediately.
Okay, we may want to keep that
Yeah.
handy if we get into any trouble.
But any other weapons will need to be left behind if we cannot properly hide and or stow them. Once we do enter the facility, we will need to make our way to the Edge Core office. And from there, the ship. Once we get to the ship, I think I'll be able to help there. But I will need your assistance to make it to the vessel.
I can store an item, one bulk in total, in my cheek pouches.
Yep.
Which is conveniently the same size as the infinity rifle that we picked up last time.
I'm so confused how this
okay.
works.
It's an item of one bulk. I can have one bulk in my cheek pouches.
Okay. We'll say, for the purposes of not making people feel ill, that you don't do a sword swallowing exercise.
No, it's this way. It's like that.
We'll say that you
You're not deep throating your
dismantle
rifle.
the stock, dismantle the barrel,
Yeah.
and put it in 3 bits, because I really can't picture you.
Like that.
Yeah.
That way.
That's going to be quite obvious.
Like a pencil.
Yeah. Can you only put that in your cheeks, or can you take my shock grenade as well? Because otherwise I won't have my shock grenade.
I can. Yosoki can store up to 1 cubic foot of items weighing up to 1 bulk in total in their cheek pouches, and they can transfer a single object between hand and cheek as a swift action. You can disgorge the entire contents of the pouch onto the ground in his square as a move action that does not provoke an attack of opportunity.
Right. So
I looked at it and was like, I want that.
1 cubic foot an infinity rifle would be greater than 1 cubic foot because it's greater than 1 foot in 1 dimension. But
I'll
I'll allow
have
you to strip it down into its component parts, but that will be it. That's all you can fit in there.
in that case, I'll take 3 of the frag grenades.
Yeah.
And 1 of Obadiah's grenades, because last time I fitted 4 in my mouth. Because I looked up the size of a grenade, and then did some quick maths. I'm probably on a list.
You're definitely on the list.
And, yeah, multiple lists.
Yeah. You want to specify in that search Starfinder.
Rat.
So I'll take 3 frag grenades and 1 of Obadiah's grenades.
Shock grenades, yeah.
Can I ask a question about my drone? Because it has inbuilt weapons on it. Can my drone come?
No.
I didn't know that you were silicon racist.
No, the drone can't go.
Okay, no worries. I'll just have the 3 grenades and 1 of Josh's.
So have you got any other weapon?
No. I've got a pistol, which I can't fit in my mouth, and I've got a long rifle, which I can't fit in my mouth as well.
Okay.
All of the other stuff, basically, I spent all the rest of my character money on sorting out a ridiculous drone.
Yeah. So you can attempt to take the drone if you want to take it to pieces.
Yeah, go on then. Oh, is that instead of grenades?
No, you won't be able to fit your drone in your face. I mean, you'd be able to take it in as nondescript engineering parts and try and blag your way in as a delivery service. So I'm thinking Chewbacca carrying C-3PO on his back.
Yes, yeah, that'll do.
Yeah.
What would you like, a mechanics check?
Yeah,
or an engineering check?
Yeah.
I like that because I've got +12 to engineering checks. That's the correct answer to that question. So that's 26.
Okay, yeah, you manage to destruct the drone down into its constituent parts and place them around your person, your equipment, where you think they won't draw attention, or at least be obvious weapons. So if you're questioned, you're going to need to come up with a reason why you're carrying various different pieces of metal and hydraulic pistons and stuff like that.
Can I use like the hoses that make him up to make like a necklace with a component piece on, and then like a couple of like rings around the tail and stuff like that?
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, nice.
Okay, so please remember that you don't have all of your weapons and equipment, particularly anything that is large. Pistols, Cowboy can store 2, I believe.
Yeah, I can put me in 1 in each leg.
Yeah.
But it means I can't take my machine gun.
Yes, that's correct. The light machine gun you can't take.
I'll leave that behind.
Yeah.
Can I take a couple of frag grenades?
Yeah. I'll say that you can find somewhere to store them.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take 2.
Somewhere.
Okay. And do we have?
She doesn't have that.
And do we have a obviously when we get into the office, like our story, our plan to get past the office? Do we what is that? Do we have a plan of how we're going to get past this Edge Core office?
Well, we can talk our way in, or I can talk my way in.
Are there any like ventilation shafts running around the building?
You have no idea.
Pipes?
You have no idea. But I will describe what you see as you're approaching the orbital from your shuttle. So you store your weapons, realizing that yes, in a security facility you can't wander around with chain gun like machine guns and infinity rifles, and various different explosive devices, as well as a hulking great droid. So you make good. You store your larger weapons on the shuttle, so they're ready for you when you return. And you approach the orbital. It's miles long facility a flat plate. The top side of it is covered entirely in solar collection arrays. Obviously, takes a lot of power, and as well as fusion reactors, which are obviously on board, it uses solar energy as a top up. It's a way of renewable energy. On the underside of the orbital, you can see the various factories. The underside is swarming with small shuttlecraft, workcraft. The factories are connected by networks of scaffold. So dense, in fact, that you can hardly make out what is being constructed within. But from the sheer size of the place, what they build here must be on an immense scale. You know, almost the immense scale of the large cruise that you found yourselves on way back when in the first episode. Somewhere within this mega facility lies the Edge Core office and the project and factory where they're building the Elephant. But which one, you currently don't have any clue. So that would appear to be job number 1, is find out exactly where Edge Core is. As you get closer, you're held by security on the orbital. You're told to descend to a parking bay and report to immigration. I take it you land, you disembark.
Yep.
You're met by 3 or 4 security droids.
Misomi has like dressed up corporate style to try and look the part.
Nice.
You're met by 4 security androids. Their styling is similar to Cowboys, but much more aggressive looking. They have more armor plates. They are wielding weapons. Their hands appear to be modified in such a way that they're surrounded by a ring, almost like a knuckle duster, and it buzzes with energy every now and again. It seems to be some sort of electrical device, some sort of stun baton that's built into their arm, for example. Good day, visitors. Please state the nature of your business.
We are Edgewater shareholders, and we would like to see the facilities and understand what the money for our shares is being spent on.
Please state your names and provide me with any evidence via your personal communication devices.
Misomi, and I provide evidence of, is it who I am or that I'm a shareholder?
Both.
Okay.
So your personal communication devices would act as sort of a passport as well to confirm your identity.
Okay.
I take it you all offer up the same. You provide your names and your personal communicators. Yeah. So after a few minutes,
go ahead.
After a few minutes of checking, no problem. You're cleared. The android reaches down into a small box that one of the other guards is carrying, and he pulls out 4 bracelets. You'll wear these devices at all times. They will operate as local communication devices, and you'll be alerted of any emergency, any news, or anything that affects you. You've been assigned quarters, our visitors area. These bracelets will guide you and act as keys to allow you to pass through the public areas to reach those locations. If you wish to take a tour of our facility, they will also act as your virtual guides. However, you must be warned that should you stray intentionally or otherwise into areas that are off limits or private, such as many of our corporations' offices or factory spaces that are not shared with the public or shareholders, you will be shocked into submission, promptly arrested and dealt with by the Absalom security forces. Please state that you understand and comply with our rules and regulations.
Yep. Certainly, I very much hope this will be the case.
These bracelets are unable to be removed until you depart this facility, at which point we will do that and you may leave. I bid you a good day, and please ask your personal communication devices if you have any questions. Our infosphere is completely autonomous and will be able to assist you in any way, shape or form. And with that, 4 of them turn round and march off.
And just telepathically go to Vec. You can get these off without them killing us, right?
Plus or minus uncertainty.
Farm cowboy.
So the bracelets immediately start pinging, and you look down and you can see a map of this level. It's showing that it's taking you to an elevator, and then from there you descend 3 or 4 levels to a public space. There are some open boulevard areas. There's some ornately sculpted garden spaces. It's very corporate park type of thing. Corporate hotel. Yeah, it's very polished. It's very clean, tidy, and anemic and soulless. It's a business hotel in space. So you find your rooms. Now, what lies before you is locating the Edge Court offices, resolving the problem of getting shot if you were to wander into an area that was off limits, and then, of course, perpetrating this crime without being
more than shot.
Taken down. Yeah.
Easy. Easy.
Now these bracelets, you said they have like visual displays as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they do interface with the infosphere terminals in your rooms. So you can use the infosphere terminal in your room to query certain things, and as I say, you can book onto these virtual tours, and then the screen on the device will act as a guide. It'll tell you where to go, or inform you about various different locations within the facility.
Okay, and we all know this, right? This is common knowledge. Okay. So I'll turn to the group.
Well, we're going to have to be a little bit sneaky. Possibly we find ourselves a fun virtual tour to go on. Something that crosses the paths of the Edge Core office. Vec, can you see on the blueprints where the Edge Core office is?
I assume would we be able to see that? Like if we looked for it, would it show us?
You can query it, yeah.
Yes, it can. We can work it out.
Be careful what you ask. They will be monitoring everything.
That is a good thought. Do multiple queries and searches at the same time. And make it seem random. And then let's find a fun tour to go on.
Tour sounds an excellent idea. Really see the facilities.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so you launch various different queries into the infosphere, some fake, some to cover your tracks almost. Excuse me. Can you roll me a computers check, please?
Just Vec or all of us?
Just Vec.
Oh.
16. Computers. 26.
Awesome. Yes, you passed the hard difficulty check. So not only do you find the location of the 3 Edge Core offices, you actually think a little bit further, and you think, well, if they're building a starship, then one of those facilities is going to be drawing more power than the other. If the other 2 are just research and engineering divisions, then the one where they're building a facility will definitely be drawing more power. So you launch more queries into the infosphere. You look at energy and power usage. You look at the amount of security cameras. You look at the areas that have the most encryption around it in terms of network traffic, and you find that one office in particular hits high on all 3 of those. So drawing your own conclusions, you think that's probably a pretty strong candidate for being the location of the elephant.
Okay. Can I ask you a question outside a game?
Yep.
Is there any pre-gap technology around?
No.
Okay, thank you.
I'll be fair, and how would you know it's pre-gap technology?
Because I've got retro tech, so I can destroy, operate, and repair pre-gap technology.
Okay.
I looked at it when we leveled up and was like, I'm having that.
So
Min-max.
So again, out of game, this whole orbital is pre-gap technology to a certain extent, but what you're interfacing with isn't.
Okay.
So there's no obvious way for you to know that there's pre-gap technology around.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've located what you believe to be the correct EdgeCore office. What do you want to do now?
Shall we book on that tour and see the facilities?
So there is a virtual tour that will get you within a few hundred meters. It's not going to take you to the door, no.
Right.
But it will get you within a few hundred meters. It will get you on the right level, and it will get you in the right sector.
Okay. So at the very least, we can scope it out.
Well, yes and no.
Scope out where it is what I mean.
Yeah. What you've got to remember is, as soon as you walk off that.
Yeah.
That
oh no,
path,
I'm not planning on doing that.
No.
Just we can see where it is, and then we know how to get there.
Yeah. Okay. So you go on the tour. It is, in a virtual sense, the usual corporate drivel of being walked around a factory and shown all of these impressive things, but you're not seeing the real action as such. You're being shown what they want to show you, which is nice,
and corporate
clean,
responsibility. And...
Yeah, and the safety posters and everything else. So you do that. As I say, you get to the level, you get to the sector where the EdgeCore offices is, and in fact, you catch sight of Eileen Razuri as well.
Okay.
You see her speaking to another type of android security. This one has many different appendages. Can you make me a perception check, please?
All of us, or just me?
All of you.
Okay. Oh, that's not bad.
That's a 3.
13.
26.
26.
Yep.
Okay. Cowboy, you got 23 as well, didn't you? Okay, so Cowboy and Misomi. As Eileen and the android walk past you, or don't walk directly past you, but they walk within a few meters, and you're obviously paying close attention, Misomi, because you've seen Eileen before. You hear her clearly say to the android, "Well, seeing as we've made such good progress, and well, I'm going to be off facility for a while, taking the news to the senior management and board. Give the workforce the rest of the weekend off. I guess they deserve it. We've been running them pretty hard." Yes, yeah. Give them some time off facility. Get them down to the planet. Make sure they have a good time. Make sure security hangs around, though. We don't want any unfortunate accidents, shall we say, before the launch. The security droid just sort of nods. Eileen walks in one direction, and you see the droid return back in the opposite direction of the office. You continue on your tour. You eventually find your way back to your rooms.
When we heard that, I would have telepathically said to everyone, because I wouldn't know who did and did not hear it, "Oh, they're done early and the facility's going to be empty. Could be an opportunity."
Excellent. Sounds like our inn.
And at any point in time, did we?
Wow, Steve, you've lost weight very quickly.
Yeah. And at any point, At any point in time, did we see? Is there anything else that we would have seen, like ventilation shafts or any other, like, way that we could stealth from, kind of, at least up to the office and or potentially get past some doors into the office, or is it just we got to get to the door and through the door?
The tour you took, yes, there are ventilation spaces, but they're all polished, ornate fittings, not big enough for you to get through.
Okay.
Vec may stand a chance, but Obadiah, no, definitely not.
Yeah.
And then ultimately the biggest hurdle is these bracelets you're wearing.
Right, because these bracelets are tracking our location at all times, right?
Correct.
So Vex crawling through ventilation shafts, that's going to set off some alarm bells.
Yeah.
Yes.
I got a potential idea that Vec may be able to help with. Bracelets are on our wrists, correct?
Yep.
So Vec, do you think you could take off my arm?
You mean take it off, remove the bracelet, and put it back on again?
Well, or just take off my arm and leave it behind, and then I can go on. My bracelet stays with you.
That's a good idea.
In the room.
Can your...
I can explore.
This is going to sound like a very odd question, Cowboy. Can you move your hand without it being attached to you?
You know what? I've never tried.
It's a first for everything.
Because
there definitely is. I mean,
if they're looking at our bracelets all the time, if your bracelet doesn't move, they may become suspicious. So can you get your hand?
Maybe. Let's find out.
I love where this is going.
What sort of check would you like, Steve?
To take his hand off, that's an engineering check.
Okay, can I... I've got a technological medic skill as well, so can I get advantage to that check?
I'll give you a bonus.
Yeah. It's always worth an ask, isn't it?
Worse than you can be told, isn't it?
Exactly. Skills. So an engineering check is 12. So that's 26 before any bonuses that you're kind enough to give me.
Yep. Okay.
But it's better to take the bracelet's on my left hand, because I'm right-handed.
Yeah.
Okay, so you remove his hand with with expertise, and you see Cowboy concentrating, trying to get the hand to move, and unfortunately it doesn't. And the reason you realise is that the power source is in his body. There's no independent power source in his hand to control the servo motors.
Can I take a physical science check to see if I can work out how to attach the battery from the component pieces of drone in my backpack to Cowboy's hand?
Yes, you can.
I'm probably overthinking this, but there's probably a lot easier ways to do this.
This is way more fun.
That's 19.
This is the way.
This is the way. Do you not want an independent moving hand?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
There's only one way to find out, man.
You do jury rig the droid's battery on. It is a bit unwieldy because the battery for your droid is a lot larger than Cowboy's hand. But congratulations, you've just made the thing.
Yeah!
Can I move it?
Yes.
Oh! I start pulling up Vec's back.
On the shoulder like this.
Oh God, what have we become?
Yeah.
Because I don't have thumbs, can I just take it off?
What, your hand or the bracelet?
The bracelet. I don't have a thumb.
Yeah,
Just
you
got,
don't have a thumb.
I've just got that. So can I go?
It's actually fired 2 pins into your hand. There's a constant anaesthetic going, so it doesn't hurt, but
nice.
it is properly attached.
You know, on second thoughts, Vec, I'm sure we could probably just hack these.
We could.
Do you want to give that a try as well?
Yeah, I'll give that a go. Computers or engineering, Steve?
For hacking the device, it's 2. You can need to make me an engineering check because there's no obvious port entry.
Who am I doing first? My one first?
Yep.
Okay.
Or
So
you could do somebody else's, because if you manage to accidentally set the shocker off, shocking yourself probably isn't a good idea.
No, that's not
I
a
would
good
do it
point.
do it on Cowboys.
Okay. Oh wow. That is 31.
Yeah, fantastic.
Nice. Right. You managed to, by the fact that he's not got a biological hand, and you can look underneath and see these pins. You actually connect 2 wires to those pins. You realise that they are actually an interface, a connection into the device. So you connect 2 wires from your own personal hacking kit, and you do manage to bring up the operating system. So you can now attempt a hacking check.
Oh, please.
Is that computers again, right?
Yes, it is.
21.
Okay. Not as good, but you still manage to get a set of rudimentary commands up, so you can now reprogram this. How do you want to reprogram it? Now, you could spoof your location, you could reset the permission levels, you could turn it off completely. Your choice.
I'm going to reset the permission levels so we can move around without. Can I put us to the top permission level so we can move around as if we were allowed to go wherever we need to go?
Yes, you can.
Okay, and do I know this is happening? That he's going to the top permission level?
Unless he's told you, no.
Okay.
I've told him.
Okay. Opazai is probably a little bit nervous about the top level because it could potentially, that in itself could potentially set off, possible.
That's like corporate level
abnormalities, right? Like
you'd be walking around as effective VIPs, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like school inspection. Suddenly, everyone's like on their best behaviour and tidying up and showing you around.
Yeah, you're the head of Ofsted coming round.
Could we go for the lowest level that allows us to get where we need to get?
You're going to need to make me another computer check because you don't know what that level is. What you're looking for is employee of EdgeCore.
Yeah.
Okay. Computers 18.
You think you found the right one. That's all I'm going to say.
Even better.
If we think we found the right one, can we send Dave's hand in to see if it triggers the alarms?
So you're going to book yourself on a second tour of the facility, get within a few tens of meters of the facility, run Dave's hand down the corridor.
Right. I've got another question. Yeah. Is Dave's hand smaller than a cubic foot?
Yes, I'll allow that.
You will have to leave everything
Thank
else
you very
behind.
much.
Yep, there you go.
I'll leave everything else in the room because stuff out of the cheeks is a swift action. I knew they'd come in handy. I'm well pleased.
Beck, do you know where my hand's been?
Let
alone where it's going.
It tastes of bacon. We're in space.
Well, there is bacon. Yeah, it's smoky actually, smoky barbecue. But hey, look, Texas.
It's very Moorish. This hand.
But what if you just made like a quick release? I can quickly detach it.
This is very weird foreplay.
A detachable hand. Oh. Yes, but only if it goes on a button that's on the middle of your chest, like that. Okay. Like Crash Test Dummies from the cartoon.
Okay, so you book yourselves on another tour. That probably flags up somewhere as unusual.
Not at all suspicious.
But you do.
We enjoyed it so much last time.
I love it so much.
You get to the
It's
point
so nice.
where you're within visual range of the entrance to the Edgecore office. What do you want to do?
Send in the hand.
Is there anyone else around?
No. No.
Okay.
There are security cameras everywhere, but there's no one else around.
In my head, I've just got Crichton Red Dwarf again.
Yeah.
With the
Yeah.
hand with the eye.
Yes,
Yep.
yes.
He didn't think of that though, did he? He didn't think of taking the eye out of the droid.
I didn't think of taking the eye out of the droid.
Okay, so you regurgitate the hand, quick smart, onto the floor, and it scurries up under Cowboy's control. It reaches the door, climbs deftly up the wall to the security computer, where it scans the bracelet that the hand is wearing and dings to allow entry.
Nice.
No alarms appear to be going off.
We're in.
Android guards do not descend upon your location. It appears to have worked.
Well, it seems the hand has worked, Vic. Very nice work.
No, pat him on the head.
Yeah.
Well done, Beck.
I tell the group how it reminds me of one of my ancestors, Oshan, who with 10 friends robbed a casino.
Okay. What do you
Yeah.
want to do?
That's
Are you
cool.
heading straight to the office now, or are you going to go back to the room first?
Do you modify our bracelets as well, or just that one?
Yes, you're modified as well. Do you need
Okay.
individual checks for those
No,
bracelets,
I don't know.
Steve?
Once you know how to do it once,
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank
you
you.
can
Well,
follow the same steps.
Yeah, I mean, I think at this point we don't want to dart off from the. We don't want to draw any attention and dart off from the tour, right? So I think it's best we go back to the room. We let things settle down. We let
Yeah.
folks sort of filter out, right, for the weekend. And
or at
then
least
when-
have the shifts change so
That's
that
right.
we're not going out
Right.
for a third time.
Before we go back, can I take a perception check to see if there's any vents or anything crawlable?
Yeah, go ahead.
9.
No.
No.
So the areas that you walk in are the presentable areas, so it's nice fittings, nicely done up. No exposed wires or anything.
Yep, Vex pretty much amazing at 3 things and 3 things only.
But those 3 things came in very handy today.
Oh,
Yeah,
handy.
they were
yeah,
the
they
right
did.
3 things.
Hell yeah, they
You
did.
have had your moment to shine, and Sean,
Yeah.
you have.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is when Min Max goes right.
Okay, you head back to the room. You while away a few hours. You even get some dinner. You're feeling fairly relaxed about this caper now. What do you want to do next?
I don't believe we should go to the office, even though Vec has kindly authorized our bracelets. I believe we should take another route there. We've already gone this way twice. Let's ensure we go there a different route this time.
That sounds like a good idea. A third time might invite suspicion if we haven't already. Do we know of another route? Can we bring one up?
Well,
I guess I'll
effectively
bring up.
now you don't need to follow the virtual tour. You're obviously logged as EdgeCore employees and not shareholders, so you would be able to access other areas of the station without flagging up as a security threat.
Okay, so we can just walk straight there then.
Yeah.
All right.
How were the other employees dressed? Or was it a bit of a mix?
It is a bit of a mix. There are project employees. They're dressed in sort of lab coats, smart attire. But then you also see the mechanics and engineers that are wearing fireproof overalls and stuff like that. It is a bit of a mixed bag.
Okay.
A lot of androids. Hell of a lot of androids.
Yeah. So Cowboy fits right in, except he's got his hat on.
Yeah.
Would an android be able to tell the difference between a lab coat and possibly a bathrobe?
Probably.
Has Cowboy got his hand back?
Have you given him his hand back, or is it still in your face?
He can have it back. Yeah, he can have his hand back.
Okay. Are you disconnecting the battery?
Yes.
I was going to say try and keep it on. We can have, I don't know. We're continuing to work on this, Vec. It could be useful for the future.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm picturing some sort of rocket-propelled Big Hero 6 smacky fist.
Yes, like a go-go gadget extendable hand comes out on a thing.
Oh
On a
man,
spring.
yeah,
Yeah, it'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
yeah. Modify it.
At the end of it, you're going to be crossed with Inspector Gadget and Crichton. I'm not sure what unholy alliance that is.
Yeah.
Inspector Crichton.
I'm gonna bring up on my comm. Well, I guess the bracelet, not my comm, but my bracelet. And is there any type of like laundry facility that's anywhere near where we're at within this hotel complex?
There is within the hotel complex where you're currently staying. Yeah.
Possibly we stop by the laundry quickly and pick up a change of clothes.
Yes.
Reed, how do you think we should be dressing, Messiah?
Well, like any employee. Any of the uniforms, possibly just a shirt would be enough.
Sounds like a good idea.
It's important to know where the towels are.
Always know where your towel is. Very
Always.
important
Right.
in space.
Okay. You do realise though that you've seen no other Vesk or any other Isaki. The majority of the employees here, they're either androids or humans. So, Masomi and Cowboy could find something to wear, but it's unlikely that you two would.
Okay. I'll walk out of the bathroom with a white bathrobe that barely fits.
Yes. It's really tight around the shoulders and way above.
It's like really short.
Yeah.
Got a similar
Well.
dressing gown on, moaning about no tails.
This looks like what I'll be wearing.
It does the job, I guess. How are we going to explain, no offense, but why you're here? There's a lot of people like us, not so many like you.
Well, I mean, we could simply say I was here on a short trip. We were rerouted, and we're here for important business.
That
I
sounds-
mean, as far as anyone knows, we are employees of the establishment, are we not?
and we are here on important business.
Exactly.
There's no lies there. If they don't ask any more questions.
Exactly. And this robe, I think, suits me well.
It does. It looks, it's a high thread count. It looks very nice.
Yes,
Clearly
very
no
nice.
expense spared here.
Yeah,
Honestly, they
Opa's
could've
eye is
spent-
like a deadly mercenary. Like, this is not. She has no clue with this. It's just like, we're going in one way or the other.
Mass slaughter wearing a white buff.
Yeah.
The thread count is definitely over 9,000.
Okay, so are you heading to the office location? Or do you want to put any more? I mean, you've got round the bracelets. You know where the office is. You know you can open the door. You haven't managed to successfully find a way to sneak in, but you can walk off the beaten path without setting off the electronic security.
Should we go and see how we get on? Are we sneak? Do we need to sneak? I think sneaking might draw more attention to us.
Yeah, we should walk like we belong.
Walk
Yeah.
with purpose.
Yep. Let's just go straight there. Walk right in.
Yeah.
Okay. So you make your way back along the virtual tour. Obviously, not taking the virtual tour. You take a few detours just to test your devices, make sure that they don't ping any alerts or anything like that. And you find yourself standing outside the Edgecore facility where you believe the Oliphant is being constructed. One of you can open the door as you see fit.
Oh, we don't even need to hack it, do we? We've
No.
got access.
Just
You've
open
got
it
access.
Just open it.
Yep. I'll
Okay.
walk up.
So, Obadiah, you place your bracelet on the communications panel. The door bings, it slides neatly open, and you can see within a reception area. There are a few terminals. There's a worn vending machine in the corner, a few chairs, and appears to be empty at the moment.
Okay. Any doors or anything in this room?
Yep, you can see across the other side of the room there is one exit. It's not a door, it's just an exit into a corridor. You can't see down it from where you are because it's in the opposite wall and moving away from you.
Okay, but it's closed. Like we can't.
No, it's just a corridor opening. There's no door as such.
Oh, it's just a hallway. Okay.
We've lost Sharon.
Just lost Sharon. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Can she stay on guard outside and we'll go through?
Yeah. So I'll walk I'll walk into the room, just kind of peer around. I'll try to see whatever I can kind of see. Is there anything that I guess I can't see anything down the corridor? I'll look down the corridor as far as I can see.
The corridor opens up into a wider sort of open plan space. You can see in the centre of the open plan space there is what appears to be some enclosed offices, like a 3 or 4 offices in a block, and then behind that there is a larger area of cubicles. Obviously, where employees are working normally, the place is deserted. What you overheard, or what Miss Amy overheard earlier, was obviously true. They've been given the weekend off, and so everybody has departed. You can't see any security here at the moment.
Okay.
There are 3 terminals in this particular room, and one of them seems to be displaying some sort of map of the local space.
Okay, that would not be in our bracelets.
When I say the local space, I mean the local space outside. So it's like a radar feed, if you like.
Okay.
Well, it appears they are gone. I don't want to just walk straight in, but this looks promising. Vec, the terminals.
Can do something. I'm not sure what yet. Definitely something. Can I hack in the terminals and find out any flight records?
You can. Which terminal do you want to use? There's 3.
Is there
one
any
displaying the star map, or just 2 normal workstation terminals?
I'm going to use the one displaying the star map, please. That's a computing check, right?
Yep.
Plus 10. 20.
Okay, so this does display local external space, and it is effectively showing the hangar where the Oliphant is stored. And weirdly, it's not attached to the Horse Eye orbital. It's in orbit further away, so it's not directly connected to the facility, which is unusual. Normally, you'd expect them to be building it where the engineering facilities are. So the engineering facilities are obviously elsewhere.
Is there any way that we can work out how people get there? So like an umbilical or a walkway or anything?
Make me another check, please.
Computing.
Yep.
14.
There appears to be something within this facility that is drawing a lot of power. You think that might be some sort of conduit, bridge, something, but you're not exactly sure what.
Okay.
But there is something within this facility that is drawing an awful lot of power.
Can we find out? Do we know where it is?
You don't have a map of the inside of the office, and it's not on the terminal that you've currently hacked.
Okay. Can I hack one of the other terminals?
Yes, you can.
So that's 22.
Yep. You managed to pull up a map of the facility. Beyond the offices, there's an area that's labelled factory floor, and that is the location of the device that's pulling all of the power.
Okay.
Right. So as Vec is hacking the terminals, Obadiah, you were still looking down the corridor. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm looking down the corridor, kind of watching.
Okay. Cowboy and Misomi, where are you? Just in the doorway near Vec, or?
Be just in the doorway. I wouldn't have gone any further.
Okay. Okay, so we're gonna switch to the map view. Try and focus that a little bit better. So that will pop up in a moment on Twitch. As you're looking down the corridor, Obadiah, you do see shadows flittering down the hallway, and then turning around the corner, probably about 40 feet away from you, are 3 android security guards. They spot you just a little bit after you spot them, so we'll allow you to have one action as a surprise round, and then we're going to go into initiative. So they're slightly off the map at the moment, but yeah, they're 40 feet away. So if you want to take an action, you can.
Okay, they're 40 feet away.
Yeah.
And you said there's 3 of them?
Yes.
And that's the only thing I can see right now, these 3 androids?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to them because I don't want to have a fight in this front room. Okay, so you said only I can move and take an action, or just one.
You can just have one action. It's just one action, so it's not a move and an action. It's just an action, so you can either move or do something like warn the others, get your weapon out, that sort of thing.
Okay. Yeah, so you'll see I'll yell to the group,
We have company, and we need to take care of them quickly.
and you'll see Obadiah's like leg armor go and open up, and then a arc pistol will kind of like jolt out, and I'll grab it.
Okay. Right, initiative then, please.
Oh my god. 9.
19.
I got 19 as well.
17.
Okay. Well, the guards react with some speed, immediately seeing you and you pulling your pistol on them and shouting, beware, we have company, and they take the immediate action of moving straight into the room towards you. So I'll place them onto the map. Now, they can't do anything else because they have just moved into the room. They're not Space Marines. I didn't have any Android minis other than the one I've got for Dave, so I would have to get some Android minis. But yeah, they move into the room, move within range now of melee on Obadiah anyway, and that's their go over. So Cowboy, you're up next. Cowboy followed by Vec.
Okay. Hey. Well, I got that trick as well, and I can open up I'll open up both legs, and I'll pull out the pistol, spin it, and aim, and with my left hand, I will take a grenade, pop pin, and chuck it up.
Are you going to chuck it into the square in the middle of all three of them? Try and get all three of them. Okay. So I need to make a... Well, no, you just need to roll to hit, sorry.
Leave my page. That's my page. I have a whole complete track portfolio. I've lost. There it is. Grenade. Right. So I got 18 in total.
18 hits, so you expertly land a grenade between all three of them, and it explodes, and they are showered with shrapnel. Roll your damage, please.
Oh, it's only a 1d6, and I got a 6.
Oh,
Yay.
nice. That's first hydraulic fluid to Cowboy. Yes, the loud bang in this small space echoes around. It was rather loud. Vec, you are up. Mid-hack, you realise you're now in combat in the reception area of the Edge Corps office, a highly restricted zone in part of this highly secure facility. It might be a good idea to lock the door and try and disable the inevitable alarms that might be going off fairly shortly.
Yeah, I'm gonna hack for that. See if we can disable the alarms while moaning that Oshan never had to deal with any of this rubbish. Computers check, right?
Yep.
14.
You try, but you don't quite manage to disable the alarms. You disable the smoke detectors, so they're not gonna pick up any fire. But yeah, the weapons fire that might be following may set the alarms off.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a swift action, can I give Obadiah her special grenade back?
You can. You turn, look over your shoulder, and well, I think you probably spit it in her direction. As a swift action, regurgitate the shot grenade. Okay, that's Vec. Miss Omi, you're up.
Okay. I'm going to try this. It's a new thing. I'm going to look at the closest one to me.
Yep.
Nope, I'm going to move up to the closest one to me. This could not possibly go wrong. And touch it and go, oh, that must have really taken that out of you. Oh, they must be working so hard. And I'm going to try and cast fatigue on them.
Okay.
So I'll make an attack against EAC.
Yeah.
14 plus 3, so 17 to hit.
Yep, that hits.
Okay.
That hits.
So, oh, hang on, I make a melee attack against them, and then you have to make a fortitude save.
And this is a fatigue, yeah?
For fatigue, yeah.
I rolled a 19 on the dice, so that's a 22 in total.
Nothing happens. Except
Okay.
I get very close to them.
Okay, that's your turn over, and last up we have Obadiah.
Yeah, so the shock grenade indicates range of 30 feet. I assume that's how far I can throw it.
Yeah, that's correct.
I can't find how big the blast is, though.
If it's a grenade, it would be 5 feet, so it'd be the 5 feet squares adjacent to the
Oh,
exposed.
okay.
Supposed to be,
All right.
so.
Okay, that's good. Can I take a free... I don't know if this is a Starfinder rule. Can I take a free 5-foot step back? Can you do that, Starfinder?
You can't take a free 5-foot step back, but you can take a 5-foot step back as part of your move action, yeah.
Okay. Without... I don't want to have any opportunity attacks. That's the
Yeah,
only thing I'm trying.
that's fine, yeah. Yeah, if you just take that 5 step back, then
Okay.
your manipulate action won't cause an attack of opportunity.
Okay. I'll take a step back, and I've basically caught this slimy shot grenade that Vec had just spit out.
Yeah.
So I'll catch that, and I'll just kind of look at it in almost disgust, and oh god, and I'll pull the pin, and I'll throw it right in that center square to try to hit all three of them.
Yep, go for it.
That's a reflex saving throw on your part. Or do I still roll to attack?
Fail. That's a fail. No, I don't. You don't roll an attack, and that is a fail. I rolled a 5,
Okay.
so that's a 6 in total.
Okay, so then you take. You will be taking. Not great. That's 4 points of shock damage to each one of those.
Okay. They are blasted with powder burns, and now they've been electrocuted. Yeah, but they are still standing. Still standing, and if you could see an android's expression, he'd probably be looking angry by about now. Okay, so I'm up next, followed by Cowboy. So one will attack you, Masomi, the one that you tried to do your fatigue attack on. So he punches out with that ring knuckle duster that I explained earlier. It glows with electricity as he swings towards you and connects. That's 17 on the dice, which is 22 in total.
Yeah, that hits both my armor classes.
Yeah. So that electrical energy that's built up in that ring discharges into you, and you take 6 points of electricity damage.
Okay.
The other one steps up to you, Obadiah, and does exactly the same thing. Takes a swing at you with the knuckle duster. That's only a 6. That's 11 in total on your energy armor class, your EAC.
That does not hit.
That's a hit. So he misses, just swings wide. And then the last one pulls a baton from his waistline and takes aim at Cowboy. A crackling beam of energy issues forth in your direction, and that is a 18 against your energy armor class.
We can't hear you.
Yes, that's going to hit.
And you take 3 points of damage as the electricity discharges across your chassis. Once he's shot that beam, he then moves into melee range with you. So he's now stood next to you, and again the sort of the knuckle duster on his wrist is crackling with electricity, but that'll be an attack for next round. So you're up, Cowboy.
Okay. Point blank range. I'm going to shoot.
Okay, go
him.
for it. And forget, if you want to take 2 shots, you can take the full attack action. Take 2 shots, but each one will be with a -4 penalty. But you can do that if you want.
Okay, I will do 2 shots at -4 on each shot.
On each shot, yes.
Okay. Ooh, right. 1, I got a natural 20.
Oh, nice.
I'll tell you what then. Roll the damage for that,
Okay.
because that may be enough. Where the second shot, you can take another one.
The pistol only does 1d6, so it's a flat 2.
Double
So
to 4.
double 4.
Yeah. Okay, that isn't enough to take him down. So please roll your next attack.
Okay. The next attack, I got a 15 minus 4, 11.
Did you get any bonuses to it? Did you roll a 15 on the dice?
It's a 15 on the dice, so it takes it back up to 13.
Okay. Unfortunately, is that a laser pistol?
It is a semi-automatic pistol.
Okay,
so
no.
laser.
Unfortunately, their kinetic armor class is a bit higher than their energy armor class, so
Yeah.
that does splash off of the plastic and metal parts on the outside of its body.
Okay.
So yeah, that's your go over.
I will spin it to reload it and get
Yep.
ready again.
Yep. Vec, you're up.
Okay. The 2 androids that are directly in front of me, I'd like to throw a grenade in between their feet.
Yep.
And then take a move action to scuttle behind it's either a computer console or a sofa.
It's
That's-
another computer console.
Yeah, to scuttle behind that, because I've got 1 grenade left and no other guns.
Yep.
So I'd quite like to hide underneath that panel, please.
Okey-dokey.
But the 2 that are towards the front of the little diorama that are close together, I'd like to go in between their feet.
Yeah, got it. Roll it for me then, please. Is this a frag grenade?
Yes. Is that a dex check?
It's a attack roll. Range
Attack roll. Okay, 17.
That is a hit. Roll damage, please.
It's d6, isn't it? 3.
3 total.
D6 offense. Frag grenades. D6. Yes, 1d6 isn't it damage?
Yep.
Yeah,
And you
3.
rolled a 3. Okay.
3 total. Yeah.
Okay. Yet another explosion goes off between the two of them. They do take damage, not a lot, and they are still standing. Yeah, they're damaged, but they are still standing. And you then turn and run behind the other computer terminal and hide. Okay, Misomi, followed by Obo.
Okay. I'm not happy about being hit, unsurprisingly. So sorry, I am trying to see what I am. Am I up the back?
You're there in the middle, right
In-
smack bang in the middle.
Okay.
Cowboy's in front of the vending machine.
Okay. Cool. I would like to just fling my arms out and just go, oh, go away from me, and cast ectoplasmic barrage. So I need to make an attack against you, and it's against, because it can go against 2 of them. It's against the
Okay.
2 that's in front of me.
Yep, got it. Yep.
That is crap and is not going to hit because it's 7.
A 7 in total.
7 against KAC.
No, that is
Yeah.
that is a miss. Yep.
It's garbage. I'm just going to look embarrassed.
So you do this ectoplasmic blast. You scream at the top of your lungs. Unfortunately, they either
That's the one
withstand the
that can do
barrage or it
something.
misses them and splatters against the wall on the other side of the room.
Okay. Just
Unfortunate.
remembered I have got something that I could have done. Never mind. Next time.
Okay. Do you want to move?
No, because they're going to hit me. They're going to hit me anyway. I just don't want to give them the opportunity.
To do it twice.
Yeah.
Okay, Obadiah, you're up.
Okay. Will you allow me to switch weapons and attack?
Yes, but you have to drop the pistol on the floor.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to do. So, I'll just Obadiah looks pissed, and I'll just forget this, and I'll just drop the arc pistol right next to me, and I'll reach back and grab what looks to be this like small like cylinder, and I'll grab it, and all of a sudden it just and then this big psychic energy axe shoots out of the end, and I'll just lift it up over my head and right down on top of the one that's right in front of me.
Go
Was
for
I?
it.
You've been holding out on us.
There's no chance that pistol might like fall underneath the computer console nearby, is there?
Yeah, I'll slightly kick it with my foot.
Yeah.
Okay. Not great rolls tonight. That's a 13 to hit.
And it's an energy axe, isn't it?
It's kinetic damage. Yeah.
Kinetic damage, unfortunately, no, it's not. No. If it was an energy damage, it would have been okay, but kinetic damage is not enough. They've got an KAC of 15. So again, it just it smashes against the plastic and metal shell on the outside, and it withstands a swing as mighty as it was. Do you want to move or stay where you are?
I want to stay right there.
Okay. Top of the round, it's the guard's turn. So again, it's going to swing at you, Masami. That is 20, dirty 20.
Yes.
So you take 6 points of damage from the energy discharge. Obadiah, the one in front of you, does exactly the same, rolling a 15 against your energy armor class.
Nope, misses.
Okay, so that one's not doing very well against you. He decides actually there's better prey elsewhere, and he's gonna head off in the direction of our cowering friend behind the computer console, because you're trying to disable alarms and security guards don't like that. So you do get an attack of opportunity, Obadiah, as the android security guard leaves your threat area. So if you want to roll your reaction, Josh, for the attack of opportunity.
I just rolled a 10 on the die.
What's your bonus?
For
To hit with your Doshku.
Sorry, I'm getting the hit. Okay,
Yes,
it's
you're
7. Okay, sorry, 17 to hit.
That is a hit. Roll your damage, please.
Okay. It's going to be okay. That's 9 points of damage.
That is enough. You bring the axe down to this, the unsuspecting android's shoulder, and you smash it to pieces as Doshku connects, and that furious energy that you had from missing in the last round, you break it in smithereens. It splashes across the floor. It's
Awesome.
Weapons neatly heading the direction of the computer console that Vec, our friend, is hiding behind at the moment.
Well done.
The one in front of you, Cowboy, also charges up his energy gauntlet and takes a swing in your direction, only hitting an armor class of 12.
Nope.
Okay. Right, that's my turn over. Cowboy, you're up next.
I'm going to retaliate straight away, and I'm going to do the double shot again.
Go for it.
Quick shots. These are -4s, yes?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so that's 15, so that's going to be a miss. 15 -4. And I've got a 19.
Yeah.
So what's that? That's a 15.
That's a 15 plus the 2 that you get to hit. Is that all you get to hit? Is 2?
I only get the 2
Yeah, okay. Well,
for the pistol.
That's a 17 in total, which is a hit. You need a 15 to hit, so roll your damage, please.
Oh, here we go. 1d6 and a 6. I like the 6s.
You do like the 6s, and he had 6 hit points left.
Hooray!
So you put that second shell neatly through the abdomen, hitting some internal piece of critical equipment. He slumps to the ground, even more lifeless than he was before. There's only one left in the room.
What was his name?
That was
what was
Android Security Guard number 2.
Okay. Okay. Put it on my cure list.
We're going to call him Robbie.
Sent him to Silicon Heaven.
We have. Veg, you're up next, followed by Misomi.
Okay, can I pick up the weapon that's come towards me?
You can. You'll have to come out from cover a few steps, but yeah, you can pick that baton up. You saw how the android guard used it. It's just sort of a small wand, if you like.
It's the thing from Loki. Steve hasn't seen
No, I haven't.
it. you gotta charge it, and then they go.
Rude.
Just as Dave described. So roll it for me, please.
12.
A 12 misses, so even though that's an energy attack, it just misses. You need a 13 to hit with an energy attack.
Okay.
Okay, so you do figure out how it works. You do fire it, but obviously you're unfamiliar with the aiming. The look and feel is a bit off, and you manage to swing it wide and not connect. You'll go over with the move and picking the weapon up. So Misomi.
Yep.
There's this one lone android security guard still standing in front of you that has frustrated your attempts to hit it so far. What do you want to do?
So, there are plenty of other people to go and harass. Why don't you go and harass one of them? And she's going to keep going, and try and cast Daze. I don't know if it's going to work, because I don't know if he's CR3 higher than a CR3.
He's not higher than a CR3. So.
Then he needs to roll a check of something. I will save.
15.
Fuck's sake. Stop beating my DC. She's still going. It's like, how dare you? I spent ages. I'm a shareholder. I'm allowed to be here. She's talking at him. She's going full Karen.
The fact we've dropped a couple of grenades is probably not.
Well, the security
We're
here is
shareholders.
terrible. I mean, we've just been allowed to walk in with weapons. It's awful. I really will be talking to your superiors about this.
Obazaya, you're up.
All right. I'm going to rush forward with the Doshko and just hit him as hard as I can. So
Go for it.
Good God. This die is gone for tonight. Okay. I don't think I've broke 5 all night.
Oh, jeez.
That's a 1 on that roll.
Oh,
no.
Right, so if you'd like to roll a d6 for me, please.
Sure, I'd love to. Watch this crit. Son of a bitch. It's a 6.
Okay, so you're going to be hitting Vec. If you'd like to roll to hit for me, please.
Okay, what you want me to roll?
A d20.
Like a 1 be nice. Use that die that you used last time.
Now the stupid thing to roll, watch it roll super high. Watch it. It's just going to. Watch it. Oh no, another 1. Oh yes, this die sucks.
Okay, so as you swing wildly with all your pent up rage of not connecting well with the other swings you made, you lose complete control of Doshku. It did careen off in Vec's direction, but it managed to hit the floor first and bounce up, spinning off into the wall and smashing the console that Vec was trying to hack to switch off the alarms and lock the doors. So you're currently weaponless, but fortunately you didn't smack Vec in the face. Unfortunately, you've destroyed the terminal you were trying to hack. Is there anything else you want to do? You've moved, you've attacked.
I've moved and attacked, yeah. No, I'm good.
Right, so I have one guard left who, seeing his 2 compadres utterly destroyed, decides to try and make a run for it down the corridor. So Obazaya and Misomi, you're both going to get an attack of opportunity on the guard as he tries to leave the room.
Oh yeah, I'll be taking mine with vengeance.
I'm just gonna, for flavour, try and bitch slap him.
Okay, go for
Because
it.
I haven't got anything that I can actually injure him with. It's probably gonna hurt me more than him.
Are you taking yours first?
I rolled a natural 1. I bitch slapped myself. And that's going to go over
Okay.
there.
We'll
This
say,
combat is
we'll say-
comical.
yes, it's gone terribly. We'll say you've gone prone.
I've out-Karened myself.
Yes, you have.
Passed out.
And seeing this and in a fit of rage from my hang on. The Doshko is no longer in my hand.
Correct.
Okay, so and no longer is the pistol as well because I dropped it on the floor. So Obadiah, you'll see Obadiah just and these claws will just come out, just her natural claws, and she'll just rake right across the face. And that is a kinetic attack, and that's a 1d4 for her instead of just the natural one.
Yep. Roll your to hit roll in place.
That is a 3.
To hit.
Oh no! Sorry. That wasn't to hit. That was I just rolled damage. Sorry, got ahead of myself there.
He hit.
The description was so good it deserved to hit.
Yeah, that's a melee attack. So that would be a standard. That's a 19.
That is a hit. So we'll take the 3. I'll allow you to keep 3. Do you have your strength bonus to add to that as well?
Yeah, actually, I would to any melee. I would add actually 4 damage. So because of my abilities, so that'd be 7 damage in total.
7 damage in total.
Rip
the head off.
Nice.
This rage is almost, intolerable. You swipe the claws as they appear out the end of your fingers across the android's neck and sever the head neatly as it goes bouncing across the floor and down the corridor, exiting the room.
Yeah, and as it's bouncing, I'll run after it and just like kick it as well.
You totally feel gold out. It just goes for miles. It goes through the glass of the first office down the corridor.
Sucked into space.
Well done. There were some bad rolls in that fight.
That just went poorly. That went very poorly.
Yeah, that was some comical combat.
That was yeah. That's the worst set of rolls I think I've seen for a while. Okay. What we're going to do is take a quick break because I need to swap the maps over and have a quick bio break. So we're going to have a quick break for 5 minutes, and then when we come back, we'll finish off. Congratulations, you've made it to EdgeCore's office. You have discovered that there is something in EdgeCore's office that could get you on the Elephant. You know the Elephant is in space somewhere further away from the facility. Unfortunately, though, this combat will have set off some alarms. There doesn't seem to be any reaction at the moment, but you will now be on a timer. And since the security terminal that Vec was trying to hack, shut the alarms off and lock the doors, is now in pieces thanks to Obadiah's overzealous swinging of his Doshku. You're definitely on a stop clock now. So We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll conclude the chapter. So see you in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Scepters. Oh, you're a legend. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
We're live.
Oh, we're live.
So
I'm professional, honest.
Will was just opening his birthday present. That was wrapped in. What was it wrapped in?
Right, it was wrapped in wrapping paper, and then underneath the wrapping paper was parcel tape, and then underneath that was more wrapping paper, then another layer of wrapping paper, and then, right, he'd put them in this box, and then inside this box was a different set of models. That is one of my oldest friends. This is why at 38 I'm like this. Right, I've been driven to it by Dave and Joe.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Right, welcome back. So, you've managed to get into the facility. You've defeated the security guards. Alarms are going off. You need to find whatever this high energy consumption device is. Hopefully use it to find the elephant and then get the hell out of there, because they may be onto you now. There's a corridor out of this room. Sorry, go on.
We just did 2 grenades. I think they're definitely onto us.
Yeah, I think it was 3. It was 2 frag grenades and a shot grenade. So.
Well, and a head.
And the head, yeah.
And a head.
Through the window.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's this corridor moving away from the reception room that you're in. It, as I explained before, opens up into a larger sort of open plan space, in the centre of which are some offices. One of the offices now has a smashed front glass window with an android head sat neatly upon the desk within. And then behind that is an area of cubicles. I take it you want to head in that direction?
Yes.
Yeah. I'll yell back to Vec.
What did the blueprint say? Where is the room we need?
So all you know from the blueprints, what you could extract from the machine when you attempted your hack, was it somewhere deeper within the office complex. So beyond this front area, beyond the offices, it was just labelled factory floor.
Okay.
All right.
Let us proceed.
And I'll start running that way. I mean, at this point, the alarms are going off, so I'm running.
Okay, you pass out into the open area. There are, as I say, this a block of 3 offices, and then behind them another block of 3, so they're back to back. They form up the centre of this space. Heading left and right from where you are is Cube City. There are cubicles all the way down to the end of the floor. There's probably about another 50, 60 feet. There must be close to 60 cubes here in total. So there's a lot of employees that would work here normally. Away to the left, there is a conference room. You can see glass fronted conference room, a lot of chairs inside, and a presentation screen. And then off to the far left in the corner is what looks like a large, well-appointed office. And you can see from here that there's a name plaque on the door on the outside, and it's labelled E. Rosarai, Director of R&D.
That's probably where we need to go, but I'm not sure these are going to get us in.
Yeah, so I'm assuming we all see this. So I'll run up to the office and just I'll put my bracelet up against the door.
It doesn't ping open.
Is there a window to this office?
There is, yeah. The whole front of it is glass.
Do you want to kick the head again?
Yeah. I mean,
Spot kick.
yeah. So yeah, when it doesn't open, I'll just unpack the Doshko again, spin around, and just right the butt right into the window.
Yep. It shatters into a million pieces of crystallized safety glass as it just collapses to the floor. Yep. You can walk straight in.
Yep. Go in.
All right.
You get the scent of expensive perfume. It's a well-appointed office space. There is a large teak desk, highly polished. There's a small terminal that's currently off.
On the desk, is there an executive toy of any description?
There isn't, but there is a
A
model
pen?
on the
Oh!
shelf behind. It's a rather large model of the Horse-Eye Plate Orbital.
Is it smaller than a cubic foot?
No, it's not. It's not smaller than a cubic foot. It is quite large, and it's bulky too, so that is not going in your face.
Okay.
It is very, very shiny.
Yeah.
In fact, make me an engineering check.
Did you ever play Mass Effect when you got to find the models and put them in your office? All the spaceship.
Yeah.
Is it something like that?
Yes, it is.
We nick it.
And it's like the models of the Enterprise that they have in the captain's quarters, in the captain's ready room.
24.
So you recognise this as a highly sought after material called Innerbrooks. So it's very expensive. It's a mixture of Innerbrooks and gold, and you reckon, conservatively speaking, it's probably worth about 1,500 credits.
Nice. So can we take it on a show later where like an alien in a suit will tell us how much we should insure it for?
You can if you want, yeah. Or you could sell it on the black market. Your choice.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
So you can take that. Let's say the terminal on the desk is off. There is some drawers in the desk you can search. It's up to you.
Vec, can you go through the terminal so you can find any more information?
Yeah, I'll have a look
Yeah.
through the
And
terminals.
I'll start opening the drawers.
Yeah.
Just frantically opening the drawers, looking for what I can find.
I'll have a look through the terminals that someone hasn't broken.
That's not the time, Vec.
You find a series of videos featuring Elaine, where she talks about Project Oliphant in its infancy, and obviously they've been given to employees as they have arrived on the project. It's the usual sort of corporate spiel about what the project is intending to do, and there's lots of messages in there about helping people and all that sort of stuff. In essence, Project Oliphant is what they're trying to do, from the glean from these videos, is put large capacity cargo space into small ships, into ships the size of the BD-514. So Project Oliphant, or the Oliphant in as a ship, is no bigger than BD-514, but its cargo capacity is 10 times what BD-514 would carry. Going through the drawers, you find a key card, an executive key card. You also find a serum of enhancement and a cylindrical lens pistol that Vec you identify as having a higher capacity battery, which means it has 40 charges instead of 20. You also find a ring. It's made of obsidian, and I'll tell you what it is. It's a Ring of Resistance Mark 1, and inscribed on the inside is the phrase "always and forever." And you know Misomi from gossip on the grapevine that Elaine recently went through a divorce, so this is possibly her wedding ring.
Dave, is the volume turned down?
Always and forever and for all time.
Well, she's not using it. She doesn't want it anymore. They're divorced.
Sure,
Discarded
anything
in her
here.
desk drawer.
Hmm?
Just discarded in her desk
Exactly. Exactly.
All
Well, let's
left.
make it look like we've taken everything. Just
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna take
I'll
it.
grab the key card. I'll toss the pistol to Vec.
Oh, thank you. Look at that ring, all left in a desk drawer, less than a cubic foot big.
And then they said it was a serum of enhancement.
Serum of enhancement, yeah, and I think I said a lens pistol.
Yeah, I'll toss the pistol to Vec, and then
Would anyone like this serum?
I'll just hold it up.
Would we know what a serum of enhancement does?
At this point in time, no.
Okay.
I'll tell you what it is but yeah, you can spend a little time researching that when you're not in the middle of a
Okay,
heist.
cool.
But
do you want to keep hold of it for a minute,
yeah,
Obadiah?
the ring you can put on
Here I am, Miss Sally.
the pistol you can use. It's a cylindrical lens pistol. So if you want to look that up, it's in the armory book. So you'll be able to find out on Star Builder. Okay, that's all you can find in the office. That's all the information you glean from the terminal on the desk. The rest of the open area outside is mainly cubes, as I said, but front and centre at the rear, the far wall, there are two large double metal doors, and above them the plaque reads "Factory Floor."
Are there any hackable panels in here before we move on? Do we need to hack anything? I don't think we do we?
There are
Try and get
terminals on the workers' desks, but you think they probably aren't tied into the station security. The security terminal was the one in the reception area that unfortunately now is destroyed.
Well, it seems we need to proceed this way.
Before I use the executive key card, I will walk up and ding, I'll do mine first before I hit it with the.
It goes red.
Okay.
Well, it seems this is where this will be used.
And I'll take the executive key card, place it up
Things
there.
green and a door unlocks.
And success.
I'll pack it in like a little pouch or something.
Okay, the space behind this set of double doors steps out onto a raised metal walkway. Below you can see a factory floor. It looks like an assembly area, a largish space, sort of warehouse size, I guess. There are several robotic arms, workstations, conveyor belts, and overhead cranes that occupy the space with you. So you enter out onto this gantry level, and that gantry does continue all the way around the entirety of the space. There are no other doors at this level. There are several entry points down through fire stairs from this raised gantry down onto the factory floor itself. And you can also see one other further way out, an airlock in the far back right hand corner of the space. There is no one here, and there is nothing being assembled in this space currently. It looks completely cleaned out, shut down, almost decommissioned to a certain extent.
This is not what I was expecting. They maybe have taken it out for a spin.
It feels like a trap.
It very much feels like a trap. I want to get something out of my bag and throw it on the floor, but I don't know what I've got to throw.
Yeah. So the room appears empty.
Yeah. There's no one around. There's no pieces of engineering that are half finished or anything like that. It's like you've walked into a factory that's either about to be used for something, or whatever was being built there is finished and moved on, and it's been decommissioned and cleaned up, ready for the next people to come in and do something with it.
Okay. No, I was just thinking whatever's in the middle might be invisible.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking maybe it's a hologram.
It's a what do they call it in Star Trek? Holographic suite.
Was it like someone else's problem field
The
from the
holodeck.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
Yeah.
I love it when players convince themselves that something should be there, so
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
there,
Well,
and it's just
Well-
an empty room.
Is it just an empty room? Oh, dead.
yeah. Yeah, I
Why
mean,
have
at the
got an empty
beginning-
room in there must be something there.
Yeah, I mean, at the beginning, wasn't the ship somewhere that wasn't like necessarily? Isn't that what you said? Like it's
Yeah.
somewhere that wasn't necessarily in.
Yes, that's exactly what I said. When you hacked the star terminal, I said this is a radar feed of local space, and that the Oliphant is not in the facility. It's not even
Okay.
connected to the facility. It's somewhere else. The role that you
Yeah.
didn't do very well on was finding where the travel point is from here to the Oliphant. So all you
Yeah.
know is there's something within this factory floor that's drawing a lot of power.
Yeah, we basically have to find the quote unquote portal to be able to get from this spot to where the ship is floating around in some other space.
That's okay. That just means is a secret door behind a bookcase somewhere. The
Yeah.
the model that we found in the office of the spaceship.
The space
it re-
station.
Oh, okay. That was really a model.
It
Of
was
the
really
space
model.
station,
Right.
were there any like umbilicals or docking, whatever they're called, on the model that we
No.
might have spotted?
No, it's just it's a flat plate. It's got the spires of the factory facilities hanging on the underside. It's got the neat little solar panels all the way across the top. It's a very detailed model, but there's no bits that slide out or anything.
Can I take a perception check and then an engineering check afterwards to see if I notice anything, and then to see if I notice the mechanical significance of what I have noticed?
And while he's doing that, I'm going to just start walking to the other side of the room.
Okay.
And while they're doing that, I'm going to activate the flashlight on my personal comm, and I'm going to scan it across the room to see if that light bends off of anything.
Okay.
While they do that, I'm going to detect magic because I feel like I ought to do something.
Okay, the perception check's 14.
You don't notice anything?
Okay, as I don't notice anything, can I then has Cowboy still got the battery for my robot?
You didn't say you disengaged it, so
I didn't
yes,
know.
he has.
Yeah, he has. Damn it. Okay.
Cool.
I can
So
send my arm back if you need.
To be honest, I quite like you having a remote control hand more than I like having a drone.
It's your new drone.
Yeah.
Because you know that bit of your back that you just can't quite get.
Take it off and
Yeah.
So Josh, you shone your light across the room. It doesn't reflect, or in any way disrupt the beam. So there's no visual clue that there is anything there at all. It
there
would
any
appear
Okay.
to be an empty room.
Are there any windows?
No.
There's no fields.
And Masomi, your detect magic doesn't pick anything up. So
Okay.
Cowboy, you walking along the gantry. Do you want to go down the stairs onto the factory floor, or are you going to stay up on the gantry?
You're on mute. You're
You're
still on
mute,
mute.
but okay, you're going to do a circuit.
Double layers of mute.
I have DOS mute. Can I stay around? No, fuck it. I'm going to go down. I said go around twice. It didn't work. I'm going to go down.
I was
Okay.
really tempted to say you're still muted and see if anyone else joined in.
You go down the stairs. You descend to the factory floor. It is just what it appears. There are conveyor belts built into the floor. It is for moving around heavy pieces of machinery and assembling all of those component parts into something that's even bigger. And there is a large overhead crane. It is nothing more than that.
Is there another door?
Yes, there is a door in the back of the room.
Right.
It looks like an airlock.
No people, no robots, no drones, nothing's on, nothing's active, conveyor belts are off.
Yeah, it's all in a state of decommissioned, powered down. There is nothing. There's not a blinking light or a welding machine being left on or anything. It is buttoned up, neat, tidy. The floor's swept, and everybody has switched out the last light before they've gone away for the weekend.
They've all gone home early to watch 0G football.
Yeah, I just yeah. Who's playing? I look up at the gantry and say, no one's home.
What's out the airlock? Anything?
Is there a window or anything? Can we see?
There is no window in the airlock. It is an iris door, so it's a circular opening, and the metal would fold back on itself like a camera lens.
Are there any spacesuits in the room?
There are no spacesuits in the room, no.
Oh,
Ah,
that's odd.
okay.
So spacesuits are inside the airlock.
Okay.
I'll go out into the airlock.
Okay, so you go up to the door.
Before he opens it, I'm going to grab something.
Yeah.
I've got a piece of rope 50 foot long.
Yeah.
So I'd like to tie that on to something substantial and structural. And I've got pressurized lungs, which allow me to hold my breath for an hour, and I'm immune to the normal environmental effects of being in a vacuum.
Okay. Right. So you take all those precautions. Obazai, you're anchoring yourself to a piece of heavy machinery.
Yeah,
Cowboy,
and I'm just
the
gonna
same as anything you want to do.
Anchor myself to a piece of heavy machinery.
Okay. So just so you're aware, you are wearing flight suits, and flight suits are space capable.
Oh, okay.
So they do have a life support system built into them. So you're not, if you do get sucked out into space, you're not gonna die instantly.
Immediately die.
Yeah. So Vec, how are you opening the door?
Is there a panel I can hack?
There is the same security panel as there has been on the other doors in this facility.
Could we just use the key?
I'll pull out the executive card and throw it down to Vec.
Okay, you catch it. I won't make you roll for that.
I've just wasted a 20. Natural.
Oh, it would have been such an awesome catch too.
I catch it with my tail.
You apply it to the security panel, it blinks green, and a door irises open smoothly to reveal behind a rather surprising room. Again, this is a metal gantry in a smaller space, but weirdly, there is a lot of molten metal flying around. So this must be part of the inner workings of the facility as a whole. So obviously all of these facilities require metal, and one of the pre-gap technologies is that there is a central artery of this molten metal that goes up and down the station, providing heat, providing power, providing deposits of metal for forgings and for use. So this is an older part of the station before these factory facilities and the office complex that you've been in was built. It's an add-on. So I take it you're going to go into the room, and what I'll do is I'll switch us to the map view, so you can see what it looks like. I'll try and focus on that a bit better. And what I'm going to do, because this is my new Dwarven Forge stuff, I'm going to switch the light out so you can see. It does actually have LEDs on it.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, it's cool.
Very nice.
Yeah, that looks awesome. That's so cool.
Unfortunately, I can't play like that though. So.
That's so cool.
Nice.
So you enter at the back there through that door, and this metal gantry runs around the room, and what I'll do is I'll lift it up a bit. There you go. And in the middle, there is a terminal next to a bridge, and that is currently shut off by a laser security wall. So there's no way to step out onto the bridge until you've disabled that security device. On the other side is what appears to be a portal gate that is currently active, and that's obviously what's drawing the immense power. And you think this is probably how you're going to get across to the Oliphant. So, do the rest of you want to enter the room?
Yep.
Yeah. And I
Yep.
would like to look around and see if there's anyone there.
Okay. Okie dokie. All right. Okay, so you enter the room. You are here. Oh, well, that's not focusing properly, but there you go. So yeah, you enter into the door. There is this walkway around. As I say, parts of the room appear to have been shut off. There's obviously been some sort of problem with the flow of molten metal at some point in time. These stalactites have appeared and cut off the back of the room over there. But your target is reachable over the bridge, but you've got this security door in a way. So, Masomi, you said you was going to take a look around.
Yeah,
Can you make me a perception check first, please?
I already did, and it was a 27.
A 27. Okay, that is pretty good. You don't see anything that stands out. You can't see anyone in this room. The portal is active. It is drawing power, as I said. But yeah, there doesn't appear to be anyone or anything else in this room.
Okay. Well, it looks like we're clear of people, but that, and she's going to point at the blaze wall, could be an issue. Beck, can you do anything?
So that
Give it a go.
is a computer terminal there next to the bridge is active. You can attempt to hack it and disable the security wall, or you can try and reach the gate by other means.
I'm going to try and hack the panel.
Okay.
That is a 21.
Okay. Your attempt to hack the panel is unsuccessful as you try and get to the root of the operating system through computer language means and fail. The timer actually goes into shutdown and a small alarm starts to blink on the side of the console. As that happens...
Is that pre-gap tech, Steve?
It is pre-gap tech.
I get one reroll a day. Pre-gap tech. No. 18.
Okay, so the panel goes in the shutdown. You realise that now you're not going to be able to hack this terminal. The only way to get into it would be to take it to pieces and try and do an overload. Try and overload the security device. You're not going to be able to turn it off by hacking the operating system or doing anything with the software. However, as that alarm begins to blink, 4 energy pulses appear almost out of nowhere, taking you all by surprise as you're hit by 1 each. So, Masomi, I got a 12.
To hit. Is that EAC?
EAC, yeah. Cowboy was a 22.
Yep, that is.
12 is exactly my AC.
Obadiah is a 25.
Hits.
And Vec is an 11.
EAC or KAC?
EAC.
Oh, 13, I'm alright.
Okay, so you're the only one I didn't hit. So let's roll damage. So Obadiah, you take 7 damage. Cowboy, you take 7 damage, and Masomi, you take 5 damage. As these electrical energy rays appear almost from nowhere and strike you in various places. What's then revealed is on the other side of the bridge, as its cloaking circuits deactivate and it's attacked, is this multi-limbed android. It's an anasite monitor. I don't have many for that, so I've used an alien
Why not?
insect equivalent from WizKids Battles. So it had many arms, so I use that. I do have a picture of that, I think. The other screen, so we'll jump back to the other screen and I will show you what that looks like. It is that creature there, so it's a metallic insect, almost like a spider, many spiked arms, and it was cloaked, so it has now appeared, now it is attacked. And it is initiative, please.
Not to worry anyone, but I'm already in my HP. Bang out of stamina.
19.
23 for Obadiah.
19.
You two 19 twins again.
18.
Okay, top of the round. Obadiah, you're first up.
Okay, I think from my positioning, it is, if I'm doing my counting right, it's exactly within 50 feet. Where I'm
Yeah,
at.
that I'd say that's
Diagonally. Yeah.
Yep.
It looks like a diagonal 50 foot. So again, you'll see like my side sort of thigh like type armor just opens up, and I'll pull out the arc pistol and take a shot.
Okay, roll a hit for me, please.
And that is another crappy roll. It's unbelievable. That's a 10 to hit.
Yeah, that's a miss.
Yeah,
That is a miss.
it is. Yeah.
Okay, so your shot flies wide. Hits a stalagmite or stalactite, I never remember which way. Next to him, a bit of carbon bursts off, but otherwise no effects. Do you want to move at all? Or are you going to stay where you are?
I will actually stay where I'm at, because I'm kind of positioned a little bit behind that thing there. I don't know if that's providing cover at all for me, but I'm going to stay right there, and then I'll kind of look at the group and say, I meant to miss. Distractions.
Okay, Cowboy, you're up next, and Vec, you follow.
I'm just going to throw my last grenade over towards it.
Okay, what's the range increment on the grenades? Is it 30 feet?
Oh, it says 20.
Okay. So if you moved up next to where Vec is, it's still outside of that range increment, so you would be rolling with a minus.
A minus what?
-4.
Ooh. Okay, I will stay.
Yep.
But let's try and do the pistols.
Yeah, go for it.
I know that's -4 anyway, but I'll try and do the 2 pistol shots. Yeah.
Yep, go for it.
Okay. I got a 5 and an 8. Missed both times.
Yeah, you missed both times, so both shots. Again, you're hitting that stalactite that's next to it in a similar sort of position to Obadiah. Perhaps you're trying to chip away enough that it topples onto the creature. I don't know.
I shout out to Obadiah and the rest of the team. There seems to be some kind of force field around it.
Yes, I do believe you're correct.
Okay, that's your go over. Vec, what do you want to do?
Okay, I'm going to use my brand new shiny cylindrical lens pistol.
Go for it.
And shoot that creature.
Yep. Roll to it for me. Masomi, you're after Vec.
12.
12 on the EAC is a miss.
Okay.
Do you want to move, or are you going to stay where you are?
I'm gonna. Those barrels, have they got some sort of toxic slime
They have. It's
around
exactly
them,
what it is, yeah.
which looks not great for health.
Delish.
I'm gonna stay where I am, but I'm gonna hunker down behind the panel.
Okay. Okay, that's your go over, Miss Amy.
As Masami gets hit by this blast and goes into her hit points, she opens her mouth to scream, but you don't hear anything. But the creature does. So I'm going to use my 3rd level feat, which is telepathic scream.
Okay.
So I have to make an intimidation check. The DC is 16 plus 1.5 times the CR of the creature.
Okay, that is rounded down 4, so that would be a 20, DC of 20.
Cool. This is fine. Fuck's sake. That'll be a 1.
Oh.
I can go over there too. We're going to die.
So you realise trying to do a psychic scream on an android is probably a bad idea. The feedback that you get actually puts
I'm prone again, aren't I?
the frightened status on you, so you're frightened for the next 1 round.
Okay.
So that means you get minus penalty on your next turn. -1 penalty your next turn.
Okay.
Okay, that's
that was a great round, everyone.
The end of the round is my turn with the anesite monitor, and what it does, it deftly flies across the room, travelling very quickly over to where Obadiah is, and it strikes out with one of its spiked legs at you. And that is a 29 to hit on you, Obadiah.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So this is a 7 points of damage from the spiked leg. Sorry,
Okay.
9 points of damage from the spiked leg.
Okay.
It's now in melee range, obviously a lot closer. So you can use your grenade next go if you want, Cowboy. But that's the end of that round. So top of the next round is Obadiah followed by Cowboy.
Oh wow! I thought, wow, we brought in a crossover. Obo appears.
I like it sound, man. How's it going,
Yeah.
mate?
Yeah.
So ring of fire in the room full of lava.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for my cousin to turn up, and then there's a whole kind
That's
of
right.
reunion, you know.
Oh, I'm here too, buddy. Let's do it.
Oh dear God, they've had a mental breakdown.
Yeah. All right. So out comes the Doshko.
That's right. Come to me.
And I'll take a strike. That is probably going to be a hit. That's 23 to hit.
Yep, that is a hit. Yep.
Okay.
Roll your damage.
And that will be, find my proper die. Not too bad. That's 6 plus 7. So 13 kinetic damage.
Nice. You swing down with that axe, that Doshku, the energy axe. You strike into the spike leg that was outstretched as it attacked you. You do a hefty amount of damage to one of the hinges. That leg is now hanging sort of limp by its side. So it's not going to be hitting you with that one again. That was a good hit. Good strike.
All right, excellent. And now coordinated shot is activated. So anybody else that attacks this from range, you have a +1 bonus to your ranged attack.
Cool. Anything else you want to do? Do you want to move? It's pretty tight on the walkway anyway.
I'll stay right there.
Okay. Cowboy, you are up, followed by Vec.
I will. Like, Beck, how are you doing getting this thing open?
Can give it another go.
Okay. I'm gonna walk backwards towards Beck, and I'm going to do another double shot at this thing.
Okay, dokie. Yep, go for it. So don't forget you get your +1. So don't forget to add that on.
Yeah. Oh no, that's good. Okay, the first one's gonna hit. Because I rolled a 19.
Oh,
And the second roll is a natural 20.
Ah, they both
Hey.
hit. Roll your
They're
damage.
both gonna hit. I'm just gonna roll 2 dice. There we go. I've got a 5 and a 6.
So which one is the double?
It's-
17 points of damage. So with a quick, swift pull out of the pistol, you take 2 shots in gunslinger style, just pulling back that hammer, holding the trigger down in full open mode. Both shots blast away at the other front leg of the creature, blowing away the socket cleanly. The egg actually falls off, and the anesite monitor takes a slight stumble against the wall as it loses balance with that leg that Obadiah destroyed, and then
Yep.
this one that you've blown clean off. It doesn't go prone, it manages to catch itself on the wall, but yeah, well done, you've taken 2 legs out. It's not looking healthy and not looking pleased at all. Well done, that was a good shot. Okay, Vec, you are up next.
Okay. I'm using 1 resolve to regain the use of retro tech.
Okay,
It's a computer check, right?
yep.
25.
25 is the hard DC that you needed to pass. You managed to disable the laser wall. Your path to the gate is now clear.
Fantastic.
Well done.
The hand of God comes down and removes the gate.
Yep. Okay, Masami, you are up next.
Okay, so sorry. So have I got a clear run to the portal?
Yes, you have a clear run to the portal, so you've got 5, 10, 15, 20 to get to the base of the bridge.
Okay. I would like to do that.
What is your speed?
Oh, that's a valid question. 30 foot.
Okay, so taking your full move action would get you to the centre of the bridge. You can now take your action if you wish, if you want to shoot the creature, or you can take another action to move again if you want.
I don't really have any attacks for him, which is what's kind of annoying. I'm just going to keep moving.
Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 puts you at the base of the portal gate.
Okay.
Another 5 feet jump would take you through it.
I'm staying there. I'm the captain. I'm not going without my crew.
Okay.
But I'm shouting at them, we need to go.
Okay, that's Masomi's go. The Anesite, seeing that the gate is now open and that Masomi's made this sort of beeline for the portal, does what it's programmed to do, which is to prevent people from stepping through it. So,
yeah.
irrespective of its own safety, it flies back across the room. Masomi, unfortunately, lands next to you to take its attack. Now, of course, Obadiah will get an attack of opportunity, so this could be deciding action. So if you'd like to roll hit, please.
Here we go. Oh, that's going to hit. That's a 17 plus 7, so 24.
That hits. Roll your damage, please.
Come on. Not too bad. Let's see. That's a 13 points of damage again.
How do you want to take it down?
Oh,
Die.
yes. As it tries to fly away, Obadiah will reach up and just lock her talons into the side of the beast and just bring it back down with all of her strength. And as she's doing that, she just shoves the Doshko axe into the front of the beast and just rakes the axe up as she's pulling the beast back down all the way up.
Nice.
You cut through the armored shell of this multi-limbed robot as you pull it towards you, and it falls neatly in half, one half falling into lava and melting away into nothing, and the other just lies at your feet, sparking away occasionally, lighting up this otherwise gloomy room that's just lit by the molten metal that flows through it. Well done. That was
Awesome.
I can't believe
Nice.
the other fight took so much longer than this one.
I don't know, with the rolls in the first round, this one could have taken us on.
It could have done. Yeah, it was just been. Yeah, it's a shame we didn't have this map up. I'm just going to turn the lights off again because I can, and I like the way it looks with the lights off. So I'm going to just do that before I switch off the map.
It's awesome.
It's so cool.
So well done. You managed to take down the anesthetic monitor. You've managed to disable the security device, and the bridge is open before you. The portal is active, and Misomi is currently stood right in front of it.
Let's go.
And I'll start running around.
Okay, you'll reach the portal. Who's going to step through first?
I will.
Can Dave's hand go through first?
I was just going to say, like, put the hand through.
Send in the hand!
If you want to send in Dave's hand, you can, but you won't be able to see anything.
It's going to turn into one of those scrubbers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Red Dwarf scrubber.
Okay, so Obadiah, you step
Bold.
through.
Yeah, I stepped through.
You step through onto the bridge of a starship.
Oh.
Okay, and is it, from what I can tell, this is, can I tell that this is the elephant?
It's yeah, you can. This is located away from the horse eyeball. You look out the front view screen, and you can see the horse eyeball over in the distance, looking quite small. So you are quite a way away. You have gated a long way onto the bridge of this starship. It is well appointed. It is done up an ornate sort of old style, almost Art Deco bridge fittings and the chairs. You know, it's trimmed in gold. It's trimmed in silver. It's
the epitome of extra.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's
Okay.
It's like a Flash Gordon style rocket ship.
Oh, nice.
Okay, awesome. All right, and can I see, like, I assume there's some form of like a command console or like a captain's chair or something? Like, is there something that I can see that's right within that area?
Yep, there is. There's the main computer terminal. It has all of the usual ports and jacking devices that you would expect, and there is a port that would take the key that you were given when you was awarded the contract.
Okay, excellent. All right.
Anyone else going through?
Yeah, has anyone else walked through at this point?
I don't know.
I'll go. I'm happy to go in.
Okay, Cowboy steps through behind you.
And I'll go last.
Okay. All right, you're all on the bridge. There is the pilot's seat. There is an engineer's terminal. There is a captain's chair. There is an open space for a communications officer as well. So there are.
I'm going to look for flight controls.
There is a pilot's chair. Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty over to that.
Well, before we take this off, I think we'll need this.
And I'll pull out a small USB key and I'll insert it into the controls, which will override the security controls.
When you insert your USB key, you have to take it out, turn it around, and then put it in.
And then put it back in the way around you started.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Normally go straight in. It's not normally like this.
So you insert your security override device. The portal behind you immediately shuts down. The main computer springs into life, and enough controls are obvious to the crew of BD514, who are used to this sort of interface, to be able to start the engines, to be able to fly the ship, and to be able to leave the temporary space dock that's been built around the vessel whilst it was being constructed. The vessel is indeed finished, as Lord St. John advised you on his message, and it is flight worthy. You are effectively taking it on its first maiden voyage. So there are the normal shakedown things to test and things to commission, but this is a brand new starship.
Nice.
A cowboy, don't get skewered again.
I'm gonna test the seat for its comfortability.
It has a range of adjustments that you can do.
Yeah.
Height, the back goes up and down. It even has a vibrating mode.
Yeah, even better. I'm gonna check power status, check fuel status, and start to just plumb the engine, get it warmed up.
It is very well spec'd. It has it has good fuel thrusters. It has excellent drift engines.
So, Captain, where are we going?
Well, first, Messiah, how are you at communications? We seem to have an opening, or at least a chair.
Well, I assume I can help where I can, but I'm not sure how long I'll be able to stay. I have
Well?
other contracts.
Well, of course, just as a temporary thing.
My services are here until then.
Perfect. I believe we have an appointment with Lord St. John. Do we know where Lord St. John is?
No. So, Obadiah, as part of your contract, you were given a security key and also had a one-time key in for the sending of an encrypted message that would alert Lord St. John once the job was complete. Once that message is sent, a return message will be supplied, as explained by Lord St. John in the message to you, Masomi, Cowboy, and Vec, that would provide the crew with a set of coordinates where they are to take the Oliphant. So you can send that message now if you wish, or you can head somewhere else. Choice is yours.
So I'll start to raise my personal comm up and get ready, but I'll pause and I'll look at the group.
Do you expect payment on this contract? As in, do you believe the payment will come? I am torn as I complete contracts. But in this case, do we actually believe we will receive our end of the bargains?
Well, we've only dealt with Lord St. John once before, and he didn't get the opportunity really to hold that side of the bargain up. Have you had any experience with him?
I have worked with the Golden League before, but they do not cross me.
Do you think they might cross you on this occasion then?
I am unsure. This is not what you would say is a solo mission.
I'll lean back and I'll lower my arm.
I leave it to you. Your decision. I send the message, or we do not.
Well, this is... Cowboy, back. You got any thoughts
I
on
say,
this?
I say, a deal is a deal. We're not the ones who are gonna renegade on that deal. If Lord St. John does, then we can take it up with him next time.
Yes, I'm kind of minded to agree, but Beck?
If they welch on the deal, we've still got the ship.
Assuming that they worked on the deal while we're on the ship.
Yeah. Don't know.
Well, maybe it's not wise to send that communication where we are right now. They're aware we're here. They're at this point probably aware where we are. Perhaps we want to take this ship a little further away and then send the message.
Yeah.
Does that sound fair?
Yeah. Yeah, that does.
Okay, you can plot a course, maybe back to Absalom. It's your choice. You can test the drift
Back to
engines.
Absalom.
You can go anywhere. The galaxy is your oyster.
Oh, dear God. Don't give someone who's indecisive every decision.
Is there a dartboard in the rec room and a map?
Yeah. Does anyone have a die?
You can chart to an empty area of space.
Yeah.
If you want to get in the middle of nowhere
Yeah.
to send a message. Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah. I think I would say we send a message.
So you chart to an uninhabited region. You send the message. Almost instantaneously, a reply comes back, just bearing some galactic coordinates. You plug it into the navigational computer, and it returns an area of the diaspora. So the diaspora is a series of meteors that spread across the system. It was the remnants of two planets that were previously destroyed. And you know this region of space is a combination of wildlands, frontiers like people, they go there and mine, but also there are secret labs and all sorts of other things that are going on. So this is directing you to a particular asteroid within that belt that you assume must be some sort of Golden League hangar. It's several days' journey. There doesn't seem to be any time frame on it. You have time now to return to Absalom, to return Obadiah to Absalom, maybe spend a few days there recovering, buying some new equipment, selling some of the stuff that you've collected before making your way to meet with Lord St. John and your date with the Golden League.
Yep.
Awesome.
Nice.
Fabulous.
Okay, you do that. You plot the course to Absalom.
Yeah.
You say your farewells to Obadiah.
Yep. So if you're ever in need of a motley crew, you contact us.
We'll definitely keep this group in mind. You showed great strength and courage. Very well done.
Thank
I
you.
am impressed.
Your Dashko skills are quite remarkable.
Oh, yes. They are second to none. Goodbye.
And I'll just turn around and leave.
That's good. I don't like awkward goodbyes.
Okay, we'll say you spend a few days on Absalom. You have your severance pay. You have the 2,500 credits that you were sent by Lord St. John. So you have money where you can restock in your equipment, upgrade your equipment, and buy a few bits and pieces. And then you eventually get round to departing for the diaspora. And that's where we'll end it. And we will pick up chapter 2 with you travelling to your meet with Lord St. John, to your meet with Golden Lake, and see how that unfolds. But for the moment, you have a brand new shiny ship that you're going to need to name. You got some equipment that you can buy, and yeah, what happens next? So thank you, Josh, for joining us this evening.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Josh.
thank you.
Thanks, man.
And bringing
Anytime I
Obazai
can
back.
play
That was
Opus.
great.
Yeah, anytime I can play Opus I, I'm in.
Love that.
Okay, yeah, that was our final episode of this chapter. Like I say, there is a lot more in this than just 12 hours of play that we've done, and it's a good entry into the Fly Free or Die adventure path. We will be continuing the story in a few weeks' time. We got other stuff coming up over the summer that were teased, not announced yet. So there is. Thank you for the cheer, Twitchy. There are other things coming in July and August. We've got some good stuff coming up. So stay tuned. Watch the pre-rolls for the ads and our calendar. And we will come back to this later in the year. I don't know exactly when, but we'll be coming back to it later in the year. We'll play through Chapter 2, so we'll see Masomi, Cowboy, and Vec again, and maybe some other members of the group. We don't know. We'll find out. So for now, we will finish it there. So thank you, players.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that was really good.
Well
Thanks,
done.
mate.
Yeah, well
Thank you
done.
for sticking around and watching it. We are a little overrun, 20 minutes. So thank you. Yeah, tune in tomorrow for Avernus. Tune in Monday for our unannounced stream. But
There we go.
yeah, we are doing something.
Yeah, something awesome.
Yeah, and yeah, stay tuned. We'll see you. Thank you and good night.
Cool.
Bye.
Bye.
See everybody later.